I say? What can I say?
Here is your host, Sean Demra.
Good night to you all, and welcome back to another episode of the Fuse Show. Tonight we have a very special night. And before we do that, let's jump into a quick video. This guy here, his name is Blackamore, a really good writer, and I just hope you guys like really look at the video is content and the lyrical everything. All right, be right back.
Young Trip, that was then, but this is now. Different view, it's a brand new you. You upgrade everything fresh. Want celebrate on up the music. Life rough, but it good so far. Got so much to be thankful for. Sometimes you have a lot, it mean less. Another time just a little, it mean more. Don't stop now, go on, you're almost there. Raise gas, accelerate. The time is right now and the place is here. Keep moving forward. Tell them straight up. Life is a lesson, but you learned it. You never come easy, but you earned it. Shout it out loud. That was then, but this is now. That was then, this is now. That was then, this is now. That was then, but this is now. When you see them carrying feelings, I want you tell them I don't care. You will forever have more and not less. Cause you giving your personal best. Feel less, you're not second. Every high level of higher level. Don't stop now, go on, you're almost there. Raise gas, accelerate. The time is right now and the place is here. Keep moving forward. Tell them straight up. Life is a lesson, but you learned it. Never come easy, but you earned it. Shout it out loud. That was then, but this is now. That was then, this is now. That was then, this is now. That was then, but this is now.
Memories linger from the past. They're still present under the mask. I'm still right here in the now. Travel through time. Memories linger from my past. They're still present under the mask. I'm still right here in the now. Travel through time.
Don't stop now, go on, you're almost there. Raise gas, accelerate. The time is right now and the place is here. Keep moving forward. Tell them straight up. Life is a lesson, but you learned it. Never come easy, but you earned it. Shout it out loud. That was then, but this is now. That was then, this is now. That was then, this is now. That was then, but this is now.
And welcome back. All right, so real quick, um, have in my personal views some of our best songwriters on the panel. A few more to add. I guess they run a little bit late, but we have Chevron
Hello,
here.
hello.
Chevron is R&B. What other genre you do? Real quick.
I do pop, I do soul. Um, Basically, I'm a singer, so I can sing anything.
All
Yeah,
right. All right.
definitely,
We got
definitely.
B-Nick. B-Nick, his genre is quite complex in a sense. What is the main genre?
um, reggae, I guess reggae dancehall.
Yeah.
We got Mark Batson. Tell him something, Mark. You're not hearing you. Uh, unmute yourself. Mark. Guess he's not hearing me.
Nah, you probably not.
You
Yeah.
hear me?
There you go. Now you go. Now we
Good.
can
So
hear you.
good night, everyone. Well, I know Chevron singing melody for Chef, Beanick and the rest of the fans and the people and the rest of the artists them. Welcome yourself like how I welcome myself, and we gonna get vibes tonight. Cause you don't know me
Definitely,
is vibes,
definitely.
but we don't want no boring vibes. All right, good.
Good. Pazo.
What's good, man? What's good? What's good? Bajo Soca. Soca, I play the Afro beats. That's me.
Lyrical Fire.
Yeah, blessings to everybody. Mostly dancer, but when it comes to writing, I could write pretty much anything.
Yeah.
All right. Right off the bat. Mark Batson. And this question is for everyone, right? Based
Okay.
off of your genre of music, what are three main factors you focus on when putting together a song? And that's 2 minutes, right? I'll give you
Yeah.
two.
Well, the first one for me is spiritual.
Mm.
I guess a lot of people wouldn't think there's a first answer to give, but I write from the spirit. I don't write just because I want to write music. I feel it from the inside, and then I outburst.
Mhm.
Then the second one, I would say I write mostly on the positive part of life.
Mhm.
I try to stay away from certain things. I don't want to see or the negative. I don't want to see too much, but you're just giving the basic factors. The third one, which I would say, I write from deep within a place. Sometimes myself don't know my mind can reach these ends because in writing music, your mind never stay one way, and you can find the best idea in the strangest places. Trust
Mhm.
me on that when I say that you can find the best idea for a song in the strangest places. Most artists of the time, when you are writing or when we are writing, sometimes we start in the sun and we
Mhm.
know we have to talk about the cloud. But then,
Definitely.
oh, we start to go deeper into the cloud. Sometimes we don't even know that our imagination or creativity can expand to that way. So I don't want
Definitely.
to say much because I don't want to expand too fast. But those are the 3 points.
All
That's
right,
true.
cool. B-Nick.
Yo, the 3 part. Yo, whether writing a song, whether it's whatever genre it is, I think the most important thing has to be the flow.
Mhm.
So it has to be catchy, depending on what it is you want to do. So for me, I try to. It depends. I try to get the hook done before everything else to try to get a general vibe of the song. That's what I try to do. I think that's the right way to do it. But 90% of the time, I just end up where I end up. But
Mhm.
I believe the right way to do
I
it,
like that. I like that.
put your hook down. Make sure it's catchy. Make sure that you have a direction of where you want to lead everything up to. And then from then, number two, I'd say your word. Like pick your word wisely. Don't be cliche. But then don't be over complicated either. It's a thin line that you gotta balance yourself within there, especially with the simplicity, the flows that you choose.
Mhm.
And then thirdly, I would say diction, enunciation, pronunciation. Make sure that you're writing words or using words that you can say fluently, that you can personally speak fluently. Otherwise, you're gonna have a problem when it comes to the recording aspect. So make sure there are words that are easy to stay together. Don't get yourself tied up in a tongue twister if you know you can't be able to pull it off on a live performance or stuff like that.
Good. Siobhan.
For me, when writing, it's all about message for me, right? What am I trying to convey to the consumers? What am I trying to say? What am I trying to give off? So for me, one of the most important things for me when writing is my message.
Mhm.
Second, vibes. You know, what is the feeling that you're getting from what I'm creating? How does my song make you feel? How does the lyrics? Can you relate to my lyrics? Um, and I think the third thing for me is basically, well, flow. And to add to that, I try to trust the process. So that being said, I like Mark said, sometimes you start writing, a title may come to your mind, and you would start writing. You start speed writing on that specific title, but then all of a sudden, that whole idea shifts, and you just follow your mind, as we say locally. You follow your mind, and then you end up in a totally different space. So for me, message, vibes, and also just remember to trust the process.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Pajo.
Yeah, you see, for me with songwriting and soca music, soca is like a fun genre, right?
Yeah.
But I like melodies. I love
Mm.
melodies in soca, and one thing I try to stay away from is the norm. I don't want to sing about the rag, the hand, the wine, the bacchanal all
Right.
the time, right? I'm trying to put topics that people can relate to, relatable topics into the music. So melody, for sometimes I go to the mic and I don't have a word. I just be mumbling a melody to whatever is being, if it's an instrumental I'm writing
Yeah.
to, just that, and then you listen to that melody again, and sometimes the words just start to come. You might be
Yep.
hearing a mumble that sound like a word, and it's like, okay, you got a direction for the song and content. So the content, the melody, and the vibe. So for soca, for me, I think Beanick said it great there. You can't tongue twist, because I think about how am I performing this on a stage.
Right.
Like, could I keep my breath on a stage with this? So I'm gonna leave gaps. I'm gonna leave, some
Mm.
areas that I could probably sing a harmony on the stage instead of a lead. So there's so much I think about
Yeah.
when songwriting, but it's got to be natural. It's got to come from a place of truth.
Mhm.
Correct.
So how many did you mention? One or two? You
Who's that?
mentioned all
Me?
three?
Yeah,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
three there, man. All
Okay,
three.
good. So the question is, based on your genre, what are three or more um, main factors you focus on when putting together a song? Right. So, lyrical fire.
Well, for me, I see, well, as a writer, I could write from either way. I could write from an instrumental. I could write from I could just hear a word, and I could articulate a song surrounding the feeling that I'm feeling or somebody else is feeling. But for me, I prefer writing with a rhythm, because that kind of give me, that's the blank canvas in the sense of art. The rhythm becomes the blank canvas, and I could paint the picture based on the feeling that I get from the rhythm. Because most of the times, if we hear a soca rhythm, we get a soca vibe automatically, And if we hear a more sentimental rhythm, all we emotions going channel in that direction. So for me, first of all, I like to let the rhythm depict or dictate the energy. Why if it dictates the way? Let the rhythm give me the vibe, and after that, I begin to work on the wording, and why when the song is finished constructing, I really sit back and I dissect it and see how best I could create the melodies that, like Nick said, it's very important to create catchy flows, because remember, we ain't just doing this for ourselves alone. It's an expression. And so I dissect the song after that to really see how best I could add the best melodies. And like this, the other artist said before, he don't want to go with the norm, and it's the same thing with melodies. For me, I like to try to create and challenge myself to come up with better melodies, so that I could really be. And sometimes it doesn't mean that it's overcomplicated. It could be simplest thing, because there's hum songs that we don't know the words to, like the Afrobeat song. Some we don't know the words to it, but the melody, we know the melody, and we jam to the melody. So that's my process basically.
All right, GT Youths.
Yeah, can you hear me?
No, a little low. All right, Mafi. Can't hear you. Unmute yourself.
Check.
Yo.
All right, go, Mafi. You heard the question, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
For me, like as I always tell people, for me, the most important thing is the chorus. It's gonna always be the chorus for me. It's gonna always be the hook because um to me I find that people is mostly get attached to the chorus of a song. That's the first part that people can learn to sing. And I mean, as opposed to a verse that can get, maybe 1,000 lyrics that they're probably not gonna remember, but the hook. I think you always supposed to try to find something catchy and something that people could sing along to easily. You understand? From the smallest person to the oldest person. Something that is relatable also. You know what I mean? Me, when I write the music, my whole thing is I try to put myself in the listener's position. You know what I mean? I don't just write songs. I try to put myself in. I'm gonna put myself in an older person position. I'm gonna put myself in a younger person position. I'm gonna put in everybody's position and see like, all right, what this song could really do. You understand? And that's how I go about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
All right, GTUs.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, very good.
All right. Big up everyone. Right. I'm more creative without the instrument. Right. I can manipulate words more without instrument. Right. And by doing that, I can then fit my song on any track that you can give to me.
I see.
Right. But with that also, I love to be different. Right. Like Pajo said, you don't go with the same, like for some reason people feed off of other people's energy. Right. If somebody have a song that's about a girl and it's a big girl song, right, we tend to go with that same idea and try to mimic another artist, right? So I try to just create things that you wouldn't normally hear about, right? That's one of my biggest thing, just creating things that is not, like it's not the norm, right? Like sing about somebody living in a house, right? But not a mansion, a small house. You don't normally hear, but people just think about things that everyone sings about, right? And with the melodies, I'm very strong on melodies too, because to me, like Mafi said, melodies is the first thing that people learn. Right? When you listen to a song, that's the first thing that comes to your a baby can sing a song without singing the words or knowing the words. They hum the melodies. Right. So for me, those three things are important.
All right. So, as an artist, when you have an idea and you go into the studio and lyrics start coming, do you record the very first line that comes to mind, or do you say, you know what, let me explore something else to see if I can get something better? Nick.
I got you, yeah, man. For me, it's all about putting out the best that I could put out. So I would always be looking for the next best line. So it depends, right? So once the idea is there, what I realize is that all music or most music say the same stuff. So it's just that they say it in a different way.
Right.
So I think that's our job now as like creators, to try to say the same thing but say it in a different way. But at the same thing, you gotta make sense in it. So I mean, going with the first idea with anything, not even just music, I think is a bad choice. I don't think that's a good choice. I think you should always look for the next best line.
Right.
All right, Siobhan.
For me, I'm a bit more old school when it comes to writing. So I would always sit down with my pen and paper and write. So I have the ability to also write without a track and stuff like that, and construct the song and all of that. So when it comes to me going to the studio, I'm ready. Lack of better terms. So for me, I'm a bit more old school. So I would always look for the next best line, or when I write an idea, I would sit down, read it, say it without singing it to hear if it makes sense. You know what I mean? So say it before I sing it to see if it makes sense, and then I would go through the whole process of creating the song and go into the recording session. So
Mhm.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mafi, unmute yourself.
Yeah. Well, me personally, I don't write music anymore. I stopped writing like 2 years ago. But
Okay.
for me, repeat the question one more time. I'm sorry.
Yeah, when you are about to write a song, do you record the first line that comes to your head, or do you explore other possibility of something better?
All right. So I can speak for me again. It's not more about a line. To me, it's like more about I just look at it like 4 lines. I don't know what it's called it, but 4 bars. That's how I write music. 4 bars at a time. So sometimes one line could don't make sense, but the follow-up line could make it make sense. Understand?
But
So that's why I would say I
do you replace the one that you feel not really making sense?
definitely, 100%.
Hmm.
Almost every song says go back to and have to check out a word or switch a line with another line. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But I always try to make it work because I personally feel like whatever comes to your mind first is always the golden. It's sometimes it might sound like it don't make sense, but it's gonna hit. Trust and believe. That's how I believe. That's how I personally feel like the first thing that comes to your mind is the hit.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I've seen it happen over and over, over and over.
All right, Mark.
Well, for me, right, it depends, because sometimes the first line is a hit. And then sometimes you write the first line, and then when you're going through like the second, third line, then you realize the first line have to be changed.
Right.
But personally, me, as Mafi said, me I write music number, because the rhythms them just come to me. I will go into the studio, and or sometimes my brethren send a rhythm at home and I hear it. And a 2 line might go down on the paper, but after the 2 line, I can't say nothing but no writing,
Mhm.
right? So it all depends on when you're going through the song, what mood you want to put the song into, what
Yeah.
direction you want the song, which audience you're appealing to, and all of these things, right? And like I think Siobhan said earlier, or somebody said earlier, I can't remember exactly. Don't try to overproduce in terms of articulating some big fancy words in the
Yeah.
song, and then you mix up the audience, right? So for me, I keep it very simple, but I keep it real effective and stiff, as we would say, stiff and steady, right?
Right.
So it depends. It fluctuates from time to time. It's never a one-way balance.
Mhm. Pajo, 2 minutes.
Yeah, for me, sometimes, as I was saying, I would go into a recording. I write better at home by myself. I need to be in a quiet space.
Right.
And if it's an instrumental, I might just, as I said, I'll be mumbling on an instrumental while I'm recording, and then a word might just come up, and it might go from there. So sometimes it might be the hook, it might be the intro. With soca music, especially, I think Folger just said in the comments there, the first 20 seconds is most key to captivate an audience now, because there's so much music out there, people just swipe. So I got to start to think I need something impactful at the beginning that's going to connect with the audience straight away. Because not all soca rhythms start with the energy at the beginning. Sometimes it's a build, so it's
It's a build.
different, And I'm always going back to my music because I'm an overthinker, which could be a bad thing at
Yeah.
times, Because as Mafi said, sometimes the first thing you get in your mind is the hook, but then I might go back to it and change it, and then
Yeah.
eventually you end up going back to that same original thing that you had at the beginning,
Yeah.
and or you throw away the whole song and start again. So
Yeah, it all depends.
it's different, because for me, especially with soca, it's everyone sings about the same thing, but it's how you word it, right?
Right.
I try to be different in how I'm doing that and how I'm delivering it. So I want to be overly critical, because I've worked with some people who told me that I think I got a great song. They say, nah,
Trash.
it's not ready. It's not ready. Go back and go back to it, and you go back, and then you realize that actually, if you change this word or this word play, or you remove stuff, you get a better song. So
Right.
it differs, man. It differs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lyrical fire.
Well, for me, you know, I started doing music in a time when you had to, when you go to the studios, the man timing you. So we got the luxury for go to the studio for try for build your vibes. You know, we didn't have the time. You gotta get your
Gotta be
money,
ready.
time
Gotta
guide.
be ready.
So I had to
Mm.
write from home. So my process started by writing at home. And like
Yeah.
I could write anywhere. I could write while I talking to somebody, I writing in my mind.
Yeah.
So easy for me for write. But I just construct my song
Do
from
your stuff.
before. So when I go to the studio, it's to work on melody because a lot of times, so you can't depend on a man, especially the engineer. You can't, the man got a bad day, the man energy low. You can't go expecting him to add to you,
Yes.
you know. So I like to have me energy and make thoughts in place. So when I get to the studio, regardless of what you got into, and if you don't revise 8
Smooth
artists a day
flow.
and you're
Yeah.
exhausted, I have my own vibrance, I have my own energy for going with. And basically, what I like to do too, I like to dictate. Why for dictate? I like to really, you know, manipulate certain producers because when you go to the studio, I want Uber Eats the food at that time, and then you want a spliff, and then my energy is being wasted. You know what I mean?
Say Uber
So
Eats.
for me, I really like when I get to the studio, I like be in every word must
Working.
done. I must done perform me song in front of the mirror 2 weeks. You know what I mean? So that when I get there, every single thing I just need for get it better. Then you know when I get there, I could take your advice if I feel like it adds to the song and just bring out the best in the song. Me looking for God here for try for figure it out then because I wasting me money. Cause remember at the end of the day, the man is business. And when you're there 4 hours with a man singing one thing over and over, the man's get exhausted. He mightn't tell you, but you could sense the energy and then you just go in new song too. Your vibes is changed because the man don't give you a negative vibe and stuff like that. So for me, I like prepare from before. Not to say that I haven't gone to the studio and build right there, but I rather
Yeah.
go over me writing. And when it comes to the complexities of words, I got a different obsession with words. So I don't believe that when it comes to music, there's no one way for do it.
Facts.
I mean, there's right keys, there's right
Yeah.
certain stuff, but when it comes to writing or singing, there's no one
Yeah, you
right
know
way
one.
because Bunky
Right,
Kelly
yeah.
wouldn't gone away with the device, or Barry White wouldn't gone away with the or Michael Bolton. You see the range. So when it comes to music, there's no one right way. It's just you gotta express how you feel and
Correct.
find the way that you could express it in the best. So when it
Correct.
comes to writing, for instance, I don't want to go too long. When it comes to writing, if you want over complex the words and you know that there's a triple entendre attached to it or there's a encrypted message in, you do what works for you because at the end of the
Right.
day, Kendrick Lamar is the way he is for the reason that he
Correct.
does. At the same time,
Correct.
Bob Marley wasn't a guy that had a lot of triple entendres, but his ability to choose the right words and have it to this
Right.
day, it applies to our lives. You know, it's all
Definitely.
about what you want to do with your music. If you want just flow and just you don't want to put too much thought into the word, but it feels good, it is what it is. But if you want, draft for some knowledge like, oh, Vibes Cartel, let's draft for some words where he's got gonna research in his song. Doesn't mean that he's not a great artist, but I'm saying there's no one right way. All depends on what's your direction for express your music.
I agree.
My, GT Youths.
Yeah, see with me now, I think Pajo said it, and then I saw Fojo said it also, right? The music part of it is easy in terms for me, right? When it comes to the hook or verse, that's minor for me, right? The intro is like the most important. I spend sometimes weeks on trying to get the right intro, right? So if those first 2 words or 2 lines, as you put it, right, does not connect from the intro for me, right, I would delete it and start over again because the intro is the soul. Like the intro is what connects you. Why make me listen to you, sir? Right? If your intro is not on point, right? And if anyone listen to my songs, I think the best part of my songs, for the most part, is the intro because the intro makes you want to listen to the song. Right? So yeah, I would change if I have to change the 2 lines in the intro or whatever the case is. Yeah, I would do that.
Which verse is the hardest to write? Which verse is the hardest to write? And we're gonna start with well, I mean, we have some artists say they don't write music, but put together. Which which verse is the hardest to put together? Mark Batson.
Second verse, boy. Second verse. Second verse is always trouble. I find second verse. You see Mafi laughing? Cause Mafi don't know anybody laughing. See Pojale man, second verse now. Remember you kick off with a pace, bang like a TBR. You understand me? And then
Everybody agree.
you will take a backdrop. Like, hey, what was that the second verse with? You were really getting that thing. Alright, oh, what is the second verse? Oh, remember you don't start the first verse and the first verse shell down. But the second verse is always chill you. And if you listen to most artists, I talk about every artist you think about. From the biggest to the small ones, whatever. Right? You will realize the second verse, the first verse hard, the second verse the in between, and then the third verse bring up back the song. It's like you're doing the essay, you start, you get rise in action, then you get fall in action, and then you're going out. So I know me ain't gonna debate this one. I know for sure. For me, second verse is chaos. Yeah, like I said, I ain't talking too much. I just moving through the shadows.
Yeah, definitely.
Yo, yeah, the second verse. I think everybody agrees. Second verse, because you know, creating a story is the starting is be the easiest. I mean, for me at least, you get the idea, you start running through it, but then the second verse, now you gotta make sure that everything connects, everything makes sense, and you close off the sound properly. So the closing will always be the toughest part, because you gotta bring the story together. Bring it down. You gotta include it. It's just basically like storytelling. You gotta have a climax, and you gotta have there has to be movement. There has to be movement. So the second verse, I feel the second verse is the hardest.
Mafi.
I agree 100%, bro. The second verse is always there.
Second verse is licks.
Licks all the time. No matter where you go wrong. Well, me personally, always happen sometimes. I would get right to my hook, get my first verse, and then now I don't want to start listening to the song now. So I can blast on the tune over and over and over. Then when it's time now for sit down now, go to the second verse. It's like, all right, we haven't started now, because I don't get the first verse. I don't get it. I might jump on back on the second verse with the same flow, but I can't do that. You understand? So that's just the idea.
So true.
Pajo.
Yeah, 100%. Second verse, because what happens, as Mafi's saying, right? You the first verse is your most critical verse, right? So you overthink the first verse. You gotta fire first verse, right? Then you work on your pre-chorus and your chorus. Sometimes with soca, you got a post-chorus, and you listen to the whole song again, and then you come back to that second verse and you go, oh my God, I just need to finish the song, right? And then all of a sudden the second verse is like, what am I putting in here? It becomes sometimes a lazy write at times, you know. It's like, well, I can just put some stuff together and get back to this pre-chorus and chorus that you already got there, and then you realize, oh my God, I gotta go back and fix this second verse. But for me, I've actually find that I get the melody for the second verse very quick, but the lyrics take the longest for me to find. So it's always the second verse, 100%.
Lyrical.
Well, on the contrary to what everybody said, you know, like I said, I got a different obsession with words. So there's me zone. Like when it comes to writing, I wouldn't say that the second verse is the most difficult, but what I started to do, because remember, like I said, I've been doing this for a little bit, so I learned, just like if you're a doctor, you're gonna find ways to do things better and faster. So when it comes to the second verses, what I started doing, I started having those little cryptid messages inside. So like the song that I broke down the other day, when I had the whole equation inside hidden, and then it lead to a story from the Bible. I started challenging myself, because like everybody, when you get to the second verse, you're burnt out a little bit. You're trying to keep the thing alive. It's like a relationship that is starting to get stale then. So I learned from working with Jamaican producers as well, coming down to does the belly of the song, you know. Like, I mean, you gotta catch everybody from the start, like movies with the trailers them. There's the hardest part in the trailers to catch your attention. But when you start watching the movie, you gotta start really putting the belly in the parts of the song. And if you listen to a lot of Jamaican music in general, when it comes to the second half of the song, artists start going higher with the keys at certain points. There's when you start hearing more melodies, more backups start punching in, because you don't want to get exhausted. So when I study music now, I started looking at those little things that they do to, as much as it's to trap the fans them and keep them interested. It's also when I write in, I like to also challenge myself for do different things in those parts where I feel like I'm going to be complacent or I'm going to start to be lazy and just do it. No, I start to challenge myself so that, listen, I gonna start challenging myself, even if the fans don't. It's not like I said. Even if everybody won't get it in the moment, I just challenge myself when it comes to the writing part of it to make sure that I got somewhere else in my mind. Like Mark said, he's got to a zone that he don't even know exists when he start writing, and it's the same situation with me when it comes to the second verses. So it's not that it's for me personally. I could see why it would be the way, but because I've been doing it for such a long time in terms of writing, I kind of develop a strategy to get rid of the part, you know.
Javon.
For me, it's much different. I think because I overthink a lot, unfortunately, when it comes to creating a song, my first verse is what is important to me, because like you all mentioned, that is what grabs the audience. That's what grabs your consumers. So for me, as much as I could start off with a bang and get going, and if it is that I am actually stuck, I would stick to my structure, the 5 W's: what, when, why, where, who, right? So I would go back to those structures and answer those questions. And then when you break down the song like that, you would find that you begin to flow a bit easier when it comes to writing. So sometimes I think it's imperative that you stick to structures at times, because I mean, going with the flow would only help with sometimes. But let's say, for instance, you have a time structure, you need to get a song out or you need to get something done. Structure, when you sit down and actually put things in place. All right, good. Who is the song about? What is it about? Where is it? Who is it? You know, you will start to flow. So for me, I think the first verse is sometimes the hardest part for me to create. Because of the impression that I'm trying to create or get,
Yeah,
or
sure, for
the
sure.
message I'm trying to, get out. So I need to make sure that it grabs your attention.
Yeah,
So for
definitely.
me, that's the
Five
first
things.
verse.
It's the most
Yeah.
critical
So
one, yeah.
let's list the 5 things again, and I need somebody to type it in the comment section so we have it there as a record. The 5 you said: what,
What, when, where, who, why.
say that one more time, a little bit slower so somebody can type it. Type it for me, please.
What?
Mhm.
What is happening? When is it happening? Why is it happening? Who is it happening to? And where is it happening? 5 W's.
All right, cool, thanks.
Yeah.
GT Youths.
Well, I am not the traditional songwriter, right? Because like most of these artists said, is go into a studio and just go off the top of their head, right? But for me, the second verse is a killer, right? Why? Because you put all your energy and effort because you want what you're saying to connect, right? And your first verse most times is tell it all, right?
Yeah.
I remember a time I writing a song and I done the first verse and sit down for about an hour and couldn't
Not
find
a
not
word.
even a word to start.
Yeah.
And I going upstairs, right? And heard my wife said something with one of your friend them and run back downstairs because that was the second verse.
Right.
You know what I
It
mean? Like that was
happens.
the
It
idea
happens.
for the second verse. So is the second verse to me is the hardest part of the everything else is easy. Coming up with
Gotcha.
topics and
Gotcha.
them things is easy, but the second verse most times is be the
Yeah.
hardest. At least for me.
Right. Right.
And based on what everybody else is saying, except for the one we get the alien brain, right? Yeah, everybody else except he have the same thing. The second verse, and the Empress too, right? But the second verse stuff.
So
Uh,
is it a must that you stay on topic, or you have the freedom to jump to any other topic when you write in a song? Like the first verse is one topic. I mean, what do you guys recommend? How do you write your music? Do you stay on topic, or you just be, all over the place? Binik.
Well, for me personally, 100%, I believe we should stay on topic. I believe whatever idea it is at the beginning should be the same idea it ends with. because otherwise you're kind of jumping all over the place, and you're starting different stories without ending it, and you're going different directions without closing off anything. Your fans would be confused and they wouldn't know exactly how to connect to the song, right? Because you might be throwing out different emotions, you might be throwing out different vibes throughout the song. So staying on topic is more of a way to keep your fans um keep your fans throughout the song, because they know once the start hook them, and the start is about a topic that they want to hear, they should be able to listen out the entire song and still have the same vibe.
So is it a easy thing to go off topic based off of the kind of words you might want to use, fancy words or stuff like that?
Yeah, it is. It's very easy to lose focus and go off topic, but that's where your skill as a writer comes in, because you have to do the hard stuff. You got to do the hard part of staying on topic. So that's the difference between good writers and not so good writers, because they don't
Right.
stick to a topic and keep the audience throughout the song. They kind of have them for the first, or they have them for the chorus, and they don't get them again throughout this, stuff like that. So it's much easier to go off topic, but as a songwriter, you need to do the hard thing. You got to stay on topic. That's just my personal whatever.
Yeah.
And before I ask the next person, um, the different genres,
Mm.
right? Is it like okay? Because if you listen to rap music, some dancehall, to me, it's a lot of all over the place. But I guess they kind of like maintain something in there. But sometimes I listen to certain music, dancehall or a rap thing, and it's like they all over the place, right?
That's a
So
that that's a good question. I feel with rap, it might be a bit different, because with rap, most of the well, not no, but like I would say, real rap, nice rap. Them must be them I used to be all over the place, because it wasn't about the story. It's more about the word plays, and more about the metaphors, the double entendres, the similes, the stuff that you use in the song itself. So for rap, I believe it doesn't matter 100% in rap, as long as you keep it, to that level. It has to be rapid, bar after bar after bar after bar.
mhm.
So I think, yeah, that's a good thing to point out.
Pajo.
You got to stay on topic, especially for soca. Soca is a lot of song is storytelling, right? So if you want to talk about this woman you meet in a party, sometimes it's building up people about, from when you walked in and you first saw her, what she did to you, and then you got the hook about how she made you feel. That's your hook, right? And then the second verse, now you still talking about her. It could be the conversation you have about with her now in the party, and where it leads to. So it's about that storytelling and that message. You got to stay on point with on topic with soca. You can't be all over the place, because people will tune out. I think most songwriters here, we got a jumbie, right? Sometimes we write in a song, and two other songs want to come in our heads at the same time to tell us, oh, let's sing about this instead of this one. And you got to know at that point to tune them out and say,
Mhm.
we gonna get to that one. But sometimes that happens to me, and what I would do is just create another track and record that idea that trying to come in my head there, and then park it and continue what I'm doing. But you gotta be disciplined enough, I think, as a songwriter to know what you're trying to achieve with that song, and how you want to structure that song, and stay on point.
Mafi.
For me, it all depends on what the type of sound that I'm doing. Cause I feel like if I'm doing like a conscious sound, more than likely I'm gonna stay on topic. But if I just doing like a song that I can see playing in a club, and I can see people dancing to, I feel like that them type of music that you got a more leeway for speak about certain things. A good example of a person that is doing is Massacre. Massacre would build a song. One verse would be talking about a girl, then the next verse would be a gunman verse, and the next verse would be a conscious verse. But it's just about how you put it together, and the vibe that people getting from it. You understand? Most of the time, if you put it together properly, people won't even realize that is different, you know, different things that they listening to.
Me too.
Just it just all depends on how you're putting it over. Like I said, it, for me it depends on the sound that I'm doing. Because if I'm doing a girl tune, I'm gonna stay on topic and make it about the girl. If you're doing a bad man sound, you don't know, vice versa. But you know, yeah.
Mark.
Yeah, sorry about that. For me, I stay on topic. You know, I write more reggae music. I do some calypso. So I did different music, soca music, and so on for people and so on. But in terms of me and writing music for myself, I try mostly to stay on topic. Like it mentioned earlier, there is no right way or wrong way to write what you want and how you feel about what you want to put over to your audience.
Right.
Because for me, I listen Mafi music. Mafi, I'm a big fan of Mafi music. Mafi, I know that yet tonight, you know though. And I listening because I like his style. But like you rightfully said, sometimes I will hear everything but the gun, I will hear everything but the bling and the things. But it's nothing wrong with it. Because like he rightfully said, in the dancehall, that is the structure.
Right.
But for me now, I can't go up on the stage and run up and say, I beg thee forgiveness to cleanse me from I kill everybody. You're mad. So I have to. No, you see me, I try to come across to the people. I'm very, very, very simple. Right? I don't want nobody feel like I going into my vocab too much. So
Right.
I keep it simple, right? And I love the fact that you can stay on topic so a man know what is your motive, sorry, and what is your
Yeah.
intention of the song.
Right.
But it's
Right.
not always that you have to stay on topic. So I
Mm.
would give it like a 90 on topic and a 10% off topic, right? But there's no right way or wrong way as long as you audience can respond or relate to what you're saying. You understand?
Yeah, man. Javon.
For me, as my brother said, I have an alien brain. It's much different. I have a more divergent way of thinking. So okay, look at it like this, right? I wouldn't say that you have to come off topic, but look at it in this way. You're driving, you know your destination, right? But whilst driving, there are things happening on the outside that you may notice, right? But at the end of the day, you know you're driving and you're going to your destination, right? So with songwriting, I think that it's our responsibility as creatives to know how to navigate those thin roads in songwriting, in bringing across a certain message while still hitting the points, you know, while still staying on board. So you make mention to what is happening, right? But you're still skillful enough to keep your
Yeah,
audience
most
focused on the point. So I wouldn't necessarily say, I would say that yes, you're staying on point, but it's also crucial to explore a little with your creativity and understand how to make mention without falling off topic. You know what I mean? So it just comes down to you learning how to navigate. Some drivers may know to drive on narrow roads, some can't handle it. You know what I mean? So I think it comes down to you as the individual, you as the creative, you as the driver of the vehicle, and the vehicle is the song. You know what I mean? So yeah, for lack of better words.
That's
Alien
great.
brain.
That's a great concept for a song right there. Navigate the thin roads.
Lyrical.
That's a song concept right there, man.
See?
Yeah, well, added to what Mafi said and
Yeah.
what Sean said,
Yeah.
I think that's what differentiates a good writer from a great writer. And it's also, like Mark said, it depends on the genre that you're working in. Because if you're writing a love song, you ain't got room for switch off. Or if you're writing a conscious song. But you see, when it comes to dancehall, like he rightly said, that's why dancehall is so similar to rap, because it allows you the room to push further in terms of creativity. Because, for instance, that's why triple entendres and double entendres is so important, because you could be on topic, but what you're saying actually got 2-3 different meanings. So you don't really you're staying on the topic, yes, but you're creative enough to use the words and have 3-4 different meanings.
Good. You leave it to the audience interpretation.
So that's why that's why Jay-Z is so good, because he would say one thing, but 3 years after, you see a news reporter dissecting it and tell you, okay, this man actually is saying this and this and this. And so, like Mafi said, when it comes to Massacre, he's one of the perfect example of somebody who does it. But he does it in a way where I see it this way too. It gives you the opportunity to use one song and appeal to different audience. Because if you could, on one song, talk about money while you're bigging up the talks them, and then you're still talking about a catty in the same song while you're on topic, it's good for marketing, in other words.
Right. So you know how to navigate.
So people's attention span is so short right now. So you got room for give them. You gotta make sure while I get you here, I'm giving you all the nuances that are attached to me as an artist. And so that's why I think that differentiate a good artist, a good writer from a great writer. If you could use the same song and have 3 different songs in the same song. But obviously it caters to an audience who is not to belittle anybody, but you gotta be listening that deep. And you have to know your niche.
Also,
like Beanick said, back in them days, it was about wordplay, it was about those things. Nowadays, people just want microwave music, and that's why the songs them you don't listen to it 6 months after, you don't want to hear the songs them anymore. Or you can still talk about a Beres, or you can still talk about a Gregory Isaacs, because that was music. But now
that was topic, right? That was topic.
You know what I
mean?
Correct.
And the main thing for those guys was storytelling. You understand? When you listen to music back then, what grabs the audience and what keeps them listening is his storytelling. You start off saying, "Oh, I went to this man's house and I put up with so and so," and you're listening to hear how the story ends.
To be honest,
you know,
me going to no man house though.
Okay.
Just to put it But I didn't know what you're saying. Before I forget.
Storytelling.
I did the storytelling. Did you know Night Nurse? Actually, if you listen to Night Nurse, you would think it's a woman he's talking about. But
we know what he's talking about.
What are you talking about?
Huh?
What was he talking about?
He talking about White Night Nurse.
That is it. So I'm saying the man used a song that all my life I thought was a woman he was singing about. Until I realized this man was hooked on cocaine for a long time, and he was actually singing about cocaine.
Let me add a little bit to this. It's like writing calypso, because when you write in calypso, at least for me, the type of calypso I write is pure double standard. So whatever you think it's, that's what you thinking. I don't have to admit to you what I'm thinking or what I'm saying. But you could think about 10,000 ideas, but I know the real true meaning. But I don't have to reveal that to you.
That's where the beauty comes in.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why? That's artistry right there. Like, it's like a painting. Nobody don't have a title attached to a painting, but when you see a great painting that's worth $1 million, you take whatever you want to get.
Exactly.
It's left to the consumers to interpret.
That's why I treat my music. Like I want construct it in a way where you could 10 years after, they must study the body of work and say, well, okay, this man was actually talking about the economy in a song.
Definitely.
So it all depends, like I said, it's subjective to whatever you want to create.
Right.
GTUs.
Yeah, man. Well, you see, because I was a DJ, right? I just I hear songs from a different perspective.
Right.
I don't feel that music should go off track.
Understandable.
Reason being, you go in a club, you might kill a man in the club, then you go and sex a girl. You come out the club, you go and rob a bank. You go and rob a bank, you go and swim, right?
Oh, that is different, yeah.
Those things, right? And those nowadays music, right? That's the reason why somebody says microwave, right? It don't last too long. I believe in storytelling.
Correct.
Right? And and someone just said also, those are the music that we listen to from 20, 30 years ago up until now, right? Because there's a storyline within it that we can take it how we want to take it, right? But at the same time, it is a storyline within it, right? I listen to Mafi. I remember Mafi tell you all these things. I know Mafi don't really go off topic, right? Because I listen Mafi music, right? I listen lyrical music, same way, right? And lyrical music have a lot of different meaning inside, but it doesn't really go off topic.
Most def.
You understand me? So for me, I feel that music, if you start me here, right, I want to connect the dots right through so I could go back and say, well, okay, this we talking about from the beginning. But don't give me 5 or 6 different things that you might do in one song for confuse me. And that's
Right.
as a music consumer,
Right.
right? You can't tell me you kill, you rob, you thief, you do all these things within and the song's a party song. You understand me? And there's just me. So yeah.
The man could be saying you have to do all of that to get in the party.
That is it.
You
That is
never
it.
know. It's how you construct it, right?
When he got in the party, still
It's
doing
how
the
you
same thing.
construct it, right?
What GT, let me give you an example, right? When Masika said, that's how we recently just when he said, killer them, I want kill it. I forget how it's that. Come in and juvenile and the money and come from
Yeah.
At one part of the song, you would swear the song is a gunman song. And the next point of the song, you would swear, you would say, all right, it's a money song. Then at the next part, you would say, all right, it's a cancer song. Can you hear the man saying, all right, he grinding for kids, you know what I mean? Well, like I say, it's just...
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but like I say, it's just how you put it over because you see how the song just come together and you talk about so much things, but it's just how we put it together.
How it's
just so sweet.
constructed, yeah.
Listen. And I feel like the way that now it's easier for grab a wider audience because you're talking about so much different things. Somebody might say, all right, I can relate to this because me like a man now we got tired now I can say, all right, I can relate to what this man saying because I feel the same way. I want grind, I want to go hard for me. You know what I mean? And then somebody else gonna say, what? We don't want to say that, but I'm gonna take that. And next person, you know what I mean? So
No, but
I
would hear a song like that. I wouldn't. Gunman would not come to like a bad man song would not come to my head. The beat might make me think it's a bad man song, right? But listening to the song from the entirety, I wouldn't think it's a bad man song. It's just me. And I listen to music from a different level.
Yeah, that's why art is subjective too, because like the man said, like when you listen to the song, you got many nuances that come together to make the song what it is.
Correct.
And then you could pull whatever you want, whatever inspiration you could get from this poetry, you could take it. You know what I mean? If it relates to you and your kids, if it relates to you coming through the struggle and getting the bag, if it relates to you always having it for you because enemies is out there, you could pull whatever you want from it.
Which is right.
Yeah, I think it just depends on whatever you pull from the song, but it's like you said, it all depends on what you looking for as a consumer as well. You might not even looking for any of the things in the song. For instance, like Mali, like when I'm sing a song about Mali, I don't pop Mali, but so I can relate to it, and it don't excite my imaginations in no sense of the word. So I can't relate to it, but then you got some man who done south with it, so them man gonna love though. So it's subjective to whoever.
That's why I said early. There is no right way and wrong way in doing music because everybody get a fun that appealing to what they want to hear.
Yeah.
You understand? Dance what? When I do music in school, because my mother is a music teacher. When I do music in school, because I do music all the days of my life, the one thing that my mother would have taught me that there is no waste music. The music that we say are ignorant or stupid music, we call them fun music or trending music. And it's a term. Hold on, give me a minute. It's a term within music, right? So now, because of so many different genre music coming out of the world and appealing to so many different society of people or classes of people,
right,
there is no right or wrong way of doing nothing anymore. What you gotta focus on, what you gotta concentrate on, where you are heading, what's your destination and your location. You understand?
Your identity, yeah.
What is your identity? That's it. Story done. Because right now they're saying they get a competing factor with Afrobeat and dancehall music, right? But they get the people who love dancehall music, but and they want to hear nothing but Afrobeat, and they get the people who love Afrobeat and they get no time with dancehall. They get some people who love reggae music, but and have no time for hear Afrobeat. They get someone who loves soca. You can't tell them that not. You could tell Pajo he's not a fighter. So everybody gotta start respecting each other's opinion, ideas, vibe, and just learn to live with it. It's simple as it is. Because I'm not saying nobody. I made a few mistakes in the earlier and say, wow, man is saying crap. But people love crap. Some people love positivity. Some people love skullduggery. So the world is a widespread atmosphere. You can't debate no more who for love what, who not for love what. Everybody love what they want to love.
Correct.
So
Everything
I
in life
wouldn't say
has
that you
its
can't
place,
come up
yeah.
a topic, but for me, I choose to stay on the topic because I understand with topic comes a longevity, a long-term music. It rolls a
Correct.
long way. You understand? But it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yep. You
So
gotta
the,
be
You
you
understand?
gotta you gotta be
Music is
truthful and
subjective.
intentional. I
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
what I believe in. And what you're trying to achieve, be truthful to yourself, intentional, and do it from a vulnerable place too. Sometimes you gotta go
Yeah.
into a dark place to pull out certain emotions in your music. Just let your truth come out in what you're trying to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, that's true.
so this next question, I need you guys honest, your honest answer.
Uh-oh.
I don't need you guys
It
to
sound ominous.
I don't need you guys to sugarcoat it, because it's very important that you guys give the right answers, because not the right answers, a truthful answer, is because it's something that is affecting, I would say, affect all um artists, but depends on your level of maturity, you able
All
to
right.
push through. All right. So um what is the connection you have when you put time into writing your song, and then somebody said, it didn't make it, right?
Oh.
They don't they don't they don't like it. Do you say, all right, I trust this person? Let's say somebody that you trust their judgment.
Hmm.
Do you, after you already recorded the song, you spend money, all of these stuff, and you ready, you the next day you actually releasing a track, and then you send it to them the night before, and they say, hey, I don't think this ain't make it, right? What how do you deal with that? What's your whole emotion and all that stuff? How do you deal with that, Chevon?
I was gonna ask to say first because I would forget my answer.
Yeah.
um, for me, okay. Honestly, because of my way of thinking, and I have the understanding that music is subjective. Um, one man's opinion or a few persons' opinions on your intellectual property does not define the quality of your work.
Mhm.
Not saying, not saying that you shouldn't listen, because I think as songwriters especially, it's hard to hear critique on something that you put time into doing and crafting. So when somebody say, hey, switch out the line, it makes sense. It's kind of hard for you to like listen to that and let it go. But I think you have to come within yourself to understand that, okay, you have to trust your gut in a lot of better terms, to say, okay, is what this person is saying, is it actually true? Should I let go of this, or should I trust the process and let it out there and see how other people react to the music? So that is how I look at it.
Mhm.
um a few person's opinion does not define the quality of your work, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't listen to um critiques and
Mhm.
take critiques.
You trust Beanick, right?
For me,
In Yeah, musically.
if I trust being, I do.
Good. So
Bad,
if
bad.
if he tell you if he tell you, nah, this ain't make it, do
Like
you,
I said, yeah.
it all depends, is it all depends on the person that is saying it to you?
For me, that doesn't necessarily play a big factor. It plays a factor, but it's not necessarily a big deciding factor.
Mhm.
Um, I would trust what he's saying in terms of, okay, he has experience um in the music world and all of that. So I would take it into consideration and be like, all right, and start doing my introspection on, okay, maybe what he's saying is actually true. So like I said, it comes down to you and your ego,
Mhm. Mhm.
basically,
All
right?
right.
Yeah.
Lyrical.
What was the question again? Sorry.
Sorry.
Like when you do a song, right, and you put all your time into it, and you getting ready to release, and somebody that you trust say, hey, this ain't make it, do you still push through and release a song? And what's the feeling and the emotion that you go through knowing that hey, I trust this my judgment, but I put too much time into this song. Are you still releasing it or what?
Two things. Who, when you said the person, who's the person in this
Somebody that you trust. Somebody that you
No,
trust.
is the person know music? I trust a lot of people. But
Yeah,
the
yeah,
person,
yeah, yeah. Musically, yeah.
Okay, so it depends. It depends on the person's experience level that they have. You know, some people who produce for way bigger artists than I am doing. Obviously, I'm at ears to what they have to say because in music and in life, I never feel like I know it all. In anything,
Correct.
business,
Correct.
I always feel like there's
Correct.
more to learn. So I'm still gonna listen to what you're saying, but at the end of the day, the art relies with me. I got a vision because you could hear what you want to say. Sometimes I
Yeah.
don't even understand why you want to say myself
True.
until I, you know. So when it comes to me music, especially, I would listen, and if I feel the need to do so, but
Done.
I got a baby scale attitude. Like regardless of what you say, I drop in music. Cause if Baby Cello sent his song to anybody, what they would have tell you? Let me be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah.
They would have tell you they didn't like it, but watch what happened to the man. At the end of the day, regardless if it's good or bad, the man still doing what he felt like doing. And
Right.
look. If Gates is sent down in your throat to you, them rock and say you like this, you would have said no. But down in your throat, send Gates to the wall and take you out to poverty. So in the sense of when it comes to art, like I said, it is subjective, and
Correct.
you're gonna listen. But at the end of the day, if this is my vision and this could help me feed me family, and at the end of the day, so to some point you gotta be a scale of temperament. You gotta have the
Yeah.
because people would your song would be a tough song and people would still tell you that they don't like it. And sometimes you mightn't like it, but 10 other persons love it. So when it comes to, it's a thin line for understand, because trust don't mean that you that trust I trust in you don't mean that you got integrity, and that could change overnight. So you could just don't like me for some other reason and just say, man, I ain't like this for killing my spirit. So when it comes to that, you gotta be, it's a thin line. I can't give you a definite answer to say.
Correct.
For the most part, I got baby scale of attitude. I dropping me song and I gonna learn from dumb mistake because you know it's something that I creating. And like I said, most of the time people don't understand it. Like me girl at first, when I sent she me song, she never understood them type of, you know, until she start and paying attention and realize, oh, this is the vision. Because sometimes it's not about what you're doing now, it's what you're trying to do. A lot of people don't understand what you're trying to do. They just see it for what it is. So when you're trying to do something great and that nobody never do before, it's hard. People not gonna understand why think Kanye West is be deemed crazy. But when he drop a new shoes, it go crazy because they understand the vision. They're just seeing right here. So it's hard. I can't give you an answer based on how, if I would drop it or not. But most times I think I would lean towards dropping it still.
Mafi.
Me know. Alright, for me, if I send somebody my song, it gotta be somebody that somebody that I trust. The whatever review it is that they can give me. I remember this one time I shot this music video, and I posted a preview on my WhatsApp, and most of the guys, they was like, yo, fire, but most of the females keep pointing out one particular thing in the video, and I'm like, why everybody keep talking about this thing? But I eventually had to go and end up shooting over the whole music video. You understand? Because I don't know. I said if these 4 females or 5 or how much of them message me about the same thing, I don't know when I drop it. You know what I mean? All the other females that gonna be looking at the video, they're probably gonna say the same thing. You know what I mean? So sometimes I feel like it's good for tech people, what people are saying, and you know, use it. You have to know to pick out the sense and the nonsense out of whatever.
Yeah, most definitely.
You know what I mean? So that's it, man. But me personally, I don't want to soul in the music. Whenever I done Vice, you're probably gonna hear it if you pull up to the music video shoot. But me personally, I'm very stingy with my own release. I don't even want to hear what it is. Because I know it's a banger. That's how I think.
Go.
Yeah,
That's a conspiracy.
you got to get confidence in yourself as an artist, so you got to know that what you cooking is a banger. So you got to reach a point where you don't even need somebody else's opinion. I already know this is a banger.
That is it. That is it.
Reach a point, once you keep practicing music and you know music, you gonna know. You don't even need nobody else's opinion.
For sure.
Mark.
Yeah, me. Well, let me be honest with you. I know music. I hear Mafi say, me don't know come. I know music. So when I put out a song, you understand? I know exactly what I putting out. Now let me give you a typical example what happened to me the other day. This guy, Naiji boy, went and see him. We had a chat, and because I normally deal with the people of vision, I make a mistake and shake up like, man, I know you gonna do something like that. But yeah, but hey, but for me, why I laugh this one, you know, G. Now, yeah, but I'm making an example, right?
Ooh.
I post this video because I know nothing nice they ain't gonna talk. But I posted for a reason. I posted that they could trend. Who never see Mark Batson page, visit me page just to see the video. And I believe that when I post a video, that would have happened, and it's exactly that what happened. Now, with the music part of life, right? I will send my music to people who are musically inclined, and a very few that are not inclined, but have this sense of creativity, not only in music, but in business or any other thing, but they have a good mindset. You understand? So he may not be a musician. He might be a man chucking the spade, but let me man listen, he's listening attentively. Right? Now, I would not always take people advice and say, well, I'm gonna go do back my song. But I'm gonna listen like Mafi said earlier, he had to do back the video. If 10, 15, 20, 30 persons start identifying a certain part, well then it means that I need to recheck my steps before I move forward. And if when I'm in rechecking these steps, I realize still that nothing wrong, me ain't gonna change me thing for you, you know, as my boy said earlier, you gotta get baby scale mentality. Right? Because people, you can never satisfy nobody. You will never please no. And talking about this, I said I don't want to go too deep, but allow me to go a little deep.
Whoa.
One of the things I've learned for over the years in Guyana as an artist, right? Guyana has made me stronger because with the amount of criticism they will give Guyanese artists, when you go abroad, people don't believe you come from Guyana. I represent Guyana, Jamaica, Carfesta, all these big stage. And when you buy perform, these same people in Guyana who telling me by them think why you're singing is not this and blah blah black sheep of you and evil. People, big artists, big producers, yo, where you went? Where you come from? You the Guyanese, the truth? Yeah, it's a Guyanese. So how we never see you on the market? But there's reason for that. So I'm saying to myself now, I know and I believe, and not believe, I know what I'm doing with my music. I will take criticism and constructive criticism if I find it necessary. Otherwise, I moving forward with me plan. Because Bill Gates didn't know you would get big and famous and rich. Nobody didn't know. The whole world gambling as a matter of fact. So like try me gamble. Is it I win or I lose?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, true.
GT Youths.
I'm very stubborn. And if Pojo up on this life, if Pojo would tell you. You understand me? Because Pojo's one of the man's complain enough. You don't listen when I tell you do something, right? Reason being is because the people that's around you are the most, I don't want to say hypocritical, but they are the most, they like critique you the most because they have an access to you, right? To say what they don't like or what he or she don't like, right? So the person next to you in your house, your friend, whatever, they have that access to you, right? But as everyone else says, when you song go out there, right, I might hear a fault in my song. Personally, I see a fault in me own song. But I know if I send it to the regular person, normal person hearing, they mightn't hear the fault that I might hear. There's times I say words that I wasn't supposed to them. I should have said a word. But it done there already. And it gone. You understand me? So I don't want to say I don't listen to people, but I really don't listen to people. Right?
So you're really saying, man, you're listening or you
No, I don't know. I really don't listen. I don't listen to if you say something that that makes sense, right? You have to make you can say that don't make sense, you know. But that makes sense to me. You understand me? What you might say, it makes sense. But if it doesn't make sense to me, or if you tell me was wrong and you can't tell me was right, I really don't want to hear it.
Correct.
You understand me? And there's how I just think. If you could say, well, hey, this note here wrong, okay, well then what's the right note? And if you can't tell me what's the right note, I want to hear from you. And that might be like Lyrical said, the baby scale mentality, right? Enough artists need that mentality because you never know what you have, right? Until it go there.
Correct.
Because if you listen to everybody all the time, you're gonna bench all your songs then.
Mhm.
Trust me.
It's true. It's true.
So we have just joined us. He's
Though.
pretty busy, so he's just dropping in real quick and got a lot of things to do. So let's welcome Renwick Dewsbury.
Big up.
Tell the tell us a little bit, but those who don't know Renwick, a minute or so about who you are.
All right, everybody can hear me clear?
Yeah,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Hey,
Definitely.
make sure you tell them you owe me, right? Good. Continue.
First of all, we gonna start
Yeah,
off
club.
like no mark. Anyways, big up everybody. It's an honor to be on this panel with people that I see on socials all the time. Shout out to every Guyanese creative who's pushing the narrative. You know what I mean? It's nice to see us all locked in and we're
Yeah.
all pushing for one common goal,
That's
and
it.
that's that the world should know that Guyana has something to offer in the marketplace.
Facts.
I don't like talk much about myself. I don't even like to mention accolades and them type of scene. But God has graced me to be on the billboard a couple of times. I've been a part of RCA Writing Camp. I've had a distribution deal with E1. I've been considered for a Grammy nomination. Stuff. I went to Full Sail University, stuff like that. But none of that matters. You could have all those things, but if you don't put in the work, then you don't get any results.
Facts.
You can have a huge skill set. Again, if you don't put in the work, you would never get any results. So real quickly, as Sean said, I'm just gonna shout in and shout out because I want to show that I play my role and do my part in giving back to my country. You know what I mean? Big up GTUs, big up Mafi, big up Lyrical, big up the young lady, big up Mark. You don't know, but Mark know me long before everybody. So Mark, I'll tell you some stuff. Some of the fundamental stuff that I learned it from Mark. You know what I mean? Mafi is somebody, and I gonna mention something, and I hope this kind of opens up a different facet of the conversation. I want to talk mainly to the songwriters, right? Not necessarily just the artists, but I want to speak to songwriters, people who may have the ability to write songs, but not necessarily are artists or want to be artists, right? A part of the industry that a lot of times people don't pay attention to is the fact that if you are a songwriter, there's a major avenue for you. There are people who are writing songs for games. There are people who are writing music for carnival cruises and stuff like that, like commercials. Like, for example, let's say I wanted to pitch a record to Carnival, to Royal Caribbean or something like that as an advertisement. I would want to lock in with a person like Mafi, a person like Mark. You know what I mean? I know this man's do soca. I can't remember his name. I want to ensure I get it right.
Paju.
Pajo.
Pajo, right? You know what I mean? Like when I'm like Pajo, like GTUs, so that we can cultivate as a record or a commercial that we can pitch to these marketplaces, right? Because sometimes people may not have the ability to sing, but they have the ability to write. Now, some of the fundamentals that we look at, for example, when I was a part of RCA Writing Camp, so we look at the artists on the roster. They tell us, okay, these are among the artists on the roster, and we got to study these artists. We got to study their tone. We got to study their range. We got to study their style, so that when we're creating a record and we're pitching it to them, it's something that they can hear themselves doing. So all they're doing is replacing our demo vocals with their lead vocal, right? Another thing I want to speak to the songwriters about is that you don't have to have the best vocals in the world. You have to be able to tell good stories.
Facts.
Something that they taught us in school is that the verse is the story. The chorus is the summary of that story, right? Repetition is key. If you want to create anthems, like for example, a person like me, whenever I go into a writing session, My style is writing anthems. Of course, I'm in the Christian industry as well. For us, some songs are given, some songs are written. Sometimes God would give you a record, and you know, okay, this joint definitely come from God. And then there are times when we're writing songs. But um, whenever we're coming together to create a record, I write anthems. But there are also people who write songs that are called album cuts. So which means this record may not necessarily be a commercial single, but this record would be a part of the rest of the album. A person like me, I'm pushing to write the commercial record. I'm pushing to create an anthem. So what I'm doing, I'm studying the records that is in that genre, that is on top of the charts, and I'm looking at the formula. I'm decoding that record, right? Something called critical listening. Again, I'm mainly talking to the songwriters and artists who are songwriters, right? Because I want to speak to a different channel, and there might be somebody who's watching who has the ability to do this. Listen, one of the secrets they teach us is listen to the top 40s. Listen to the top 40s and decode the top 40s. Listen, pay attention to the formula. Pay attention to the melodic flow. Pay attention to the storyline. Pay attention to the chords, right? If you're going to be a songwriter, it's good to learn some type of basic music theory. Train your ear. Do ear training. There are ear training exercises available everywhere. Every sorry, every other day, I try to do some ear training so that I can perfect my ear, so I can tell what that note is even before it's played or when it's played. You understand? Understanding how many bars is in a record, how to count those bars in a record. You gotta know if you're singing 8, if you're singing 16. You understand? Sometimes it's in some records you're singing, you might start with a 4-bar intro, right? Learning how to count those things is important, right? So these are just tools that you want to have in the bank. You know what I mean? Listen to top 40 records, try to decode them, use critical listening and move that entire record apart. Listen to the chords, listen to the type of tones they're using, listen to the structure of the record, listen to the execution of the record. And within that, you will find the formula for these top 40 records. That's how we listen to these things, decode them, and then we add our own sauce and our own style on it, and then present it to these artists. You know what I mean? So
Renrick,
yeah, man.
Renrick, let me say this in a little bit. Since you're talking about to the writers, let me just say this. You
Yeah,
know, sometimes people can really underestimate what they have right here in the palm of their hands. Because
yeah,
from I can remember what you were talking about, as you mentioned earlier about the basic fundamentals that I would have given to you.
yeah,
Those were some of the things, and this is like 20 odd years ago we were talking about. Those were some of the things that I have been telling you guys, but because maybe I'm not on the big scale, when you try to share this knowledge to other people and other artists and writers and so on, they're thinking that you're joking or you don't know what you're saying because they never heard of it before. So now that
right.
you're highlighting it and on this forum, which is most important, I'm trusting and hoping that other artists who are listening right now can
Yeah,
understand the importance of what you're talking about decoding. Because, like I said, I
yeah,
have done this 20 odd years ago. It's
yeah,
like you
man.
walk into a band room and you can say, play the sixth, play the seventh, play the
Yep,
fifth, play the first. And
yep,
I could tell you if it's a C sharp, it's a G sharp, it's a
yep,
augmentive. I could tell you if it's a sustenance. And not to go too far, but there's another artist, I think some of you may know him, Yannick Adolf. He's a
yeah,
gospel artist. He would
yeah,
remind me of some of these same things that I would say to him. And he said,
yeah,
Mark, do you know that when I used to play jump cards on the keyboard, he said,
yeah,
you are the person who said to me, don't do the cards like this. Play the
yeah,
cards with inversions. And
yeah,
now Yannick is producing and
yeah,
making big music. But like I
yeah,
said again, we have so much here, but we don't know what we have.
yeah,
Right? So I'm very happy that you highlighted. Continue.
yeah, man. Yeah, man. So so these are just Mark, big up yourself as well. these are things that, but if y'all don't know Yannick, Yannick is like, Yannick is my brother basically. I'm Renwick, he's Yannick, but we grew up as best friends, right? But these are fundamental things as a songwriter, and this is not limited to a genre of music. If you're doing dancehall, if you're doing soca, if you're doing reggae, imagine if you implement some of these fundamental training, how effective you can be, not just as an artist, but even as a performer, that you could work with any band. God has graced me with a type of gift that I can work with any set of musicians because I can teach them the music. I can either give them the sheet music, I can tell them how the record's supposed to go, and I can speak to them in a language that they can understand. And these things are basic fundamentals. Simple thing like voice training, right? If you ask artists, it doesn't matter the genre of music. You ask them how often they do vocal exercises before they even record. Ask them how often they do vocal exercises daily. You know what I mean? So these are just things that I want to speak to. But mainly my heart tonight was really like to tap in with the songwriters, because I know we have a lot of artists, but I think some people who are artists, they're really great songwriters. And because we don't highlight the songwriters, like if you look at some of the biggest records, and I'm saying these few things and I'm out. If you look at some of the biggest records right now, you check at you look at Usher's last album, and you look at the credits. There are like 5-6 songwriters on these things, bro. Right? Because if you want to produce hits and you want to produce anthems, it has to be a team effort. If you're the only person writing this music, then sonically it's always gonna sound a certain way. Eventually you become monotonous. If you want to be creative, collaborate. If you want to stand out, collaborate. If you try to do everything by yourself, your music is going to be limited because there's somebody who's able to compensate in an area where you're weak.
That's it.
Right? So God bless you guys, man. Mafi, big up yourself. It's good to see you, bro. Everybody else, big up GT Youths, Mark, Pedro, Lyrical. Right? Yes. And this young lady, what's your name, sis?
Siobhan.
Siobhan, God bless y'all.
Yes.
Let me just shout out them rock, big up yourself, my brother. You continue to do what you're doing. The industry need this, behind the scenes as Kaya, Mr. Guyana, because if nobody else, you scared.
Mr. Guyana, I like the one.
This man scared Guyana the back. So big up yourself, G. Continue to do what you guys are doing together. Together we can make this thing work. If we divide it, it's a mess, bro. Everybody here on this panel, and even people in the comment section and people who are not here, everybody brings something specific to the table. Everybody brings something unique to the table. And the areas where we can compensate for each other's weaknesses. If we begin to collaborate more, not just from a musical perspective, even from an intellectual perspective, because there's some people who their skill set is great in management, is great in music business. There's some people, their skill set is great in fashion, is great in visuals. So, you know what I'm saying? So, some people, their skill set is great in designing. These are, I got enough time, but branding and marketing is another important thing.
That's it.
You understand? Like what is your brand? If your definition of a brand is just how great your pictures look, how great your videos look, you have missed the whole definition of a brand. Your brand is an ongoing story.
Facts.
That is your brand. Nobody here in this moment could ever define each of our brands by one conversation. It takes different pieces of content and different conversations for people to create an entire picture of what your brand really is. You understand? So God bless everybody. I want to hold y'all up. Enough love. I support in behind the scenes. Thank y'all for giving me an opportunity to speak. All right.
Respect and love.
Love everybody.
GT Youths, did you get a chance to answer? I don't think you answered the.
What was the question?
No, yeah, I think he answered already.
I
I
remember the
think
question
Pajo.
already.
No, it's
You gotta.
about. Huh?
I think I didn't answer, but you're gonna have to repeat the question.
You
Like I
know,
forget, I forget the question too. Um, I think the question was,
listening to people. Another one there.
yeah,
All right, yeah,
I
that
think that
one.
was the same. Yeah, I think that was the question.
I think you see for me at when I first started out as a songwriter and as a musician, I was excited to send my music on demos to anybody to get their reviews before. But then you realize that there's a lot of yes people and there's some people who weren't in your corner, who didn't like the fact that you were about to elevate. So they used to tell you some negative things about your music and have you second guessing. But as time went by, I sort of got rid of all of that, stopped sending my music out, and I got a team that I would work with of if they're either songwriters or they're other musicians and the producer in my camp, no one else that I would work with. And I always send my music out to the team because they're strong songwriters, and I would say, great, this is the concept, but this is always in the demo stages. This is before I do final recordings or anything. It's what do you guys think? And a lot of the times it would be, yo, this is great, but you could go up an octave in this part, or you could sing, you could do this differently. Or someone might say, I love the concept, but let's collaborate. Let me help you write this part. It could be stronger. And I trust them. And I say that to say this, sometimes as musicians, as an artist, we need to just have a small support circle around us. Don't have too many people influencing your decision, because it will cloud you and it could sometimes take away the whole essence of the messaging you're trying to portray in your song. So, I learned to do that and just have 2 3 people, and I stopped sending music out to people nilly willy and saying, yo, what you think? Because there's a lot of people who don't know about songs, and as Siobhan said, music is subjective, right? They might not understand your vision. They don't know what you're trying to do. As Lyrical said, you might be 5 years ahead of the game. You trying to create something that no one has heard. So
Yeah.
nobody is gonna get it. So you gotta trust your instinct to say, I'm gonna go out there and release it. But at the same time, I'm not afraid to collaborate. A lot of great hits, and I'm glad Renwick said that. Because I always use Brown Skin Girl by Beyonce as an example. That song had 8 writers, 8 to 10 writers, I think, on that one song. And there's nothing wrong with sometimes getting professional opinions, not opinions from anybody else. You know what I mean? I would go to anyone on this panel here and say, guys, hear my music for me. Tell me what you think. Mark might be great with melody, the music, the tones, and everything else. Everyone else might be great with lyrics. You could say this a bit stronger, you know what I mean? But I'm not gonna go to Joe Blogs on the street and say, what you think? The man might say, I can't whine to this. That's not you know what I mean? Because you might not be trying to get that messaging out there. You might be talking about how you feel about somebody else. But this is not soca. Soca is about Han and Rag. No, it's not about that. So
Pojo, let me just say something quickly on behalf of what you're saying. Let me add to that. I think one of the problems with writers for Guyana, Guyanese artists, a lot of them, not all of them, so I'm gonna be specific. They don't believe in sharing,
mhm.
and that is one of the biggest downfalls in this
Facts.
music fraternity. We don't believe. A lot of us don't believe that if Mafi get a song and Mafi struggling, by Mark is a good man for his things. Let me call Mark. But Mark, first thing Mark can tell Mafi, hey, I looking from a perspective of business. I would like to have so much points as a writer. Let me discuss business.
Mhm.
Now you see, because we don't do business and we always do charity,
That's the
the
problem.
big that's the problem right there. So you won't find in each of one of us calling each other and say, hey, I do a nice song, I get a song, I think of buzz, but I think I need some support, and how we just do it, you can get a fair share if I got to pay you for write this part, whatever. We don't believe in the profit or the business part of the game.
Back end.
So we always log in because there is no knowledge of what we are doing. We know I like writer, I just write me one song, me want nobody tell me nothing. The thing don't work so.
Mhm.
Team effort. one of my biggest issue for me, and like I don't blaze nobody, I blaze myself. One of my biggest issue in this music fraternity was that I never used to listen. Not time I write, but because because I know I write, I just want to blurt out. And then I had to take a backdrop and then realize, yo, you got to change the structure, champ, or it's nobody work with you.
Correct.
And that's when you reach a stage of maturity and then you start to understand yourself that, yo, this thing is not about you alone.
Yeah.
You have to have people support and people to assist you, people to invest and so on to carry this game further. Now, one song, Second Chance. I wanted to put it in the BBC chart. Do you know how much was the price? 500,000 pounds. Now, I just give you a quick heads up. Because of a link on a channel, they say it's gonna do it for a favor of 250,000. Now, we don't have no connect. We can't find the money. We don't know nobody. And because there's no strong team effort coming together, working collectively, round the clock to see, well, okay, we can now, I can call Bank of Guyana, I can call Poju, I could call Lyrical, and let's work together and team up and make this one project be successful.
Right.
The project fall. So what I'm saying here, we have to learn how to do business,
The business of
right?
music.
Don't do friend, do business. So when a man know, well, hey, my money sure, or my pint or my percentage sure, everybody ready for war.
That's true.
But when you calling a man out the house and tell him, "Bye, you want to help me this," might have he done getting yet. It's not me thing. For me, we got things interesting. And that's what I say. I don't try to come across with these exquisite and fancy words because I want people to understand what is really happening. There is no business structure. Guy need that he don't know business. And because we don't know business, we fall in.
I recently had an experience with that. I wrote for somebody in Guyana. I ain't calling no names, right?
Right.
And I said to them, I wrote this song. This song came to me, and I think it suits you perfectly, right? Your tone, everything. They said, "Great, thank you very much." I said, "But I own the right in publishing. As a writer, you own the right in publishing,
Yes.
your lyrics and your melody, right? And
Yeah.
I'm not charging you for the song." They turned it down because they said, no, I gotta get everything. I said, well, great doing business with you, but sorry, you can't use the song. And I'm done with that because it's like, understand the business. Any writer, you could pay a writer £10,000 or whatever it is. They still own the right in publishing of the song. A lot of people don't get that. So even us as writers, if you didn't know that from now going forward. Whenever you write a song for someone, you own the lyrics and the melody, even if you sell that song to someone. So people need to just understand that in business, because as Mark says, he might go to somebody and said, yeah, I don't mind helping you, but I gotta get 50% of this right in publishing because it's a core right. A lot of people don't want to hear that, you know what I mean? Straight to religion.
Correct. They don't want to hear that.
Them. And that's the problem.
And then it becomes a big issue that you're a hater, you want to eat the thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And I set a backdrop.
So it's kind of like easier for me to actually transition to the other parts of this question, because this was the exact thing I was going to ask, is the collaboration. Do you guys mind if somebody come in and say, hey, I think I could make this song better, allow me to do that? So the addition, the connecting point to that question is, Mafi, because of your style of music and the way that you go about doing it, is it easy for somebody to write for you?
No, I don't think so.
So you would rather write your music for yourself and like
Yeah, but it would be easier for somebody to like pick out a line or a word that could be changed, or probably a whole verse. Understand? But writing for me, I don't think it would come off as people would probably know that it's not me because of the way
that's your concern.
how I do my music. Yeah.
Okay, so
hold on, then, Brock. Let me. Okay, you're calling me.
Yeah, come into me. Yeah.
All right. see, I just write for different artists, right? And one of my main thing is that if I give Mafi a song, I might not give Mafi a song, I might not write in Mafi style, but Mafi can listen or rehearse my song and fit his style into my song, right? That's how I just see songwriting, because, like I said, I wrote for artists before, and the one thing that I hate artists do is song like me. And that's the reason why I started singing, because I could sound like my damn self if I want, right? But if I give you a song, I don't want you to sound like me, right? So when I hear artists like Fojo, I just got sit back and said, yo, did I really write that song? Because when Fojo take me song, it sound like Fojo.
Makes it his own.
You know what I mean? So I don't and anybody can write for me, but nobody never wrote. I mean, Fojo give me lines and Balis, and people give me lines, but no one never really said, well, this
Write
is
the
you,
full
sir,
song.
right? And I would really love for someone to actually send me a song and say, I want to do this song, because I want to see if I can take your idea and your words and make it my own. And that's what I think great songwriting is. I hate when artists sound like the person who write the song, right? That's one of my biggest pet peeve, right? As of late, I admire this youth right here, Pajo, right? I admire his writing skills, especially in soca, because his soca sound is international. Whichever way we want to say international is, right? His sound, his writing style, right, is, matter of fact, all these artists were there. The only artist I don't know, I'm not familiar with, is Chevron, right?
Yeah.
But each and every one of these artists, because like I said, I was a DJ, and I listen to these artists. So all these artists that's here, right, come after me as international.
That's
Yeah.
right.
You know what I mean? And I don't really like say, well, local and Guyanese, and I don't really
That's it.
subscribe to those foolishness,
Artist.
right? Artist is artist, right? So yeah, I don't mind writing. I don't mind people writing for me, and they might write for me. It's just I really want to see, right, how I can take someone else's vision and makes it my own. But a quick story, right? In terms of collaboration, I remember a few weeks ago I did a song by myself. I sent it to a few people, and they was like, something sound weird on this song that I really don't like, right? I took the song and I sent it to one artist, Fojo, and I said, I want you to do the hook on this song, right? And because Fojo jumped on the song, it was a totally different song.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So I would advise, whether you're in the chat or whatever, I would advise artists to literally collab, because collab brings out a different side of you that you probably don't even know was there. Because Mafi melody might make I want to sound like, not sound like him, but jump into a style and make, I mean, I could do the style there,
That's it.
right? Or listen to a lyrical fire and say, well, me and I could create these words like how them are creating. You understand me? So collaborations is a very good thing for artists. So if we don't do it, we should start doing it, or do it more.
That's it. Lyrical Fire, do you think is something easy for you to actually, like, somebody write a song for you and you can do it, or you just like to flow off of your own?
I think I could do either. Like if somebody write a song for me, but obviously it can't. Somebody can't write a song for me in totality and give it to me. I as a creative, I have to have an input. It's better we write it together. You know what I mean? I'm not selfish when it comes to creativity. But at the same time, I've written for artists that could write good too. But it's just sometimes when you're in one lane, one care too long, you get tired of it. Sometimes you just need the difference. Sometimes you just need the sometimes, and everybody flow is different. Everybody energy is different. I've worked with Chutney artists. I've written for, like, one of the biggest Chutney artists I've written for. I've worked with dancehall artists before. I've been in the studio with Natural Black. It's a host of things that I've been through when it comes to writing. But when it comes like collaborating, me and Mafi got a song together that's gonna a different perspective of who the man is.
Nice.
Like the song, the way it was written and the way it was it was produced and the way it was engineered, it's like it's not what you're expecting, but it's more of an international. Not to say it's not international, but I'm saying it's a song that lives on. It's like a different perspective from who he is. When you hear Murphy and you hear the song, is something it's like you're gonna be. I know you're gonna be blown away because it's a different leaf like storm. It's a different level of growth. You know what I mean? And not to say that the man, I fed off of his energy. You know what I mean? I write with his direction in mind because I could, when it comes to writing, I love it. I would write for free. Young guy give me no percentage. If I like you, if you got talent, and if I would write because I love writing, you know. So I would write. You never, young guy, worry about me telling nobody is I write for you. I don't care about all that. Once I believe that you got talent, because it's not about me, you know. Like at this point, it can't be about me. If you as an artist thinking about you with the culture that we in right now, that's why you're still you, and we ain't boss yet. We can't do it alone, G. Like, because
that's it.
Like we gotta at some point we gotta start holding ourselves accountable and say, listen, as much as I doing it for me, I doing it for the next generation who gonna be inspired by me. Because when I started to do music, there wasn't many people around who inspired me. I had to find the inspiration from Jamaica or find the inspiration from this and that. So now I got a sense of it's not only about me. So I pushing myself to a level when it comes to the writing, when it comes to the vocal ability, and how hard I go with the music, because I try to set a standard for the generation that comes after me. I might never boss. But for me, the love of music is not even about bossing. If I never boss, I still happy because music take me from suicide. So that's why me love for music run deeper than just a boss. You know what I mean? I could have sing about Bamsi and I could have been the hottest thing right now. You know what I mean? But it's for me, music take me from suicide. I was in a dark place in my life, early on in my life. And so I do music because I love music. So if an artist reach out to me, he got talent, he can't really write, but I would write for you. You know, I've worked with artists who do their first songs in the studio. The first ever song that they never got to a studio, but I take them and write a complete song for them. So for me, I don't mind collaborating. I just gotta hear what you have and find your vision. Because I don't want to write me vision for you. I want to hear what direction you want to go in, and then I could probably get into character, get into the vibe that you want to create, and I could write for those. So it's either way I take a song, but I gotta make it me one after though, like GT said.
Siobhan.
For me, I always believe that no man is an island by themselves. So as an artist, depending on the type of artist you are, collaborations are necessary for the growth of your creativity. That's just the way I see it. So to answer the question, yes. I would allow someone to write a song for me, but it has to be a person writing who understands my style of singing, the message I put out there, you know. So it's not gonna be any and anything. I mean, I'm open to experimenting with different genres and stuff like that, but at the same time, like I said, it has to align with the identity. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would.
Mark.
Yeah, for me, I would allow someone to write for me. And let me be honest with you guys. A couple years ago, you can't tell me nobody write for me. Me neither.
Yeah.
But then, with times come maturity and growth and so forth, you know. And I recently did a collab with Natural Black a couple of years ago. Not how second chance we make you know now we get it. I did some other collabs with other people, but now as it is, I would allow someone to write for me with me having to put in my input.
Some input.
Unless the person truly understands my way of doing things. Now, bear in mind, I understand lyrical saying just now. He get a love for the music, and he already bothered with that side. But lyrical, I tell you the truth, I done playing them game, my brother. I doing business.
No, I
I
understand.
don't get him bleed out, my brother.
Me
I
disagree
bleed
with
till
you.
I can't bleed no more, my brother. Right now, my blood left with what? So you see, when it comes to the business part, my brother, I so serious, and I'm not vexed with you for sharing your love. I get the same passion, but boss, I can't put passion on me table. I gotta put passion fruit, and I have to pick up passion fruit. You
No,
understand? I gotta get
I understand and I agree with you.
yeah.
I agree with you, but for me, I think at this point in the music, the industry in generating as yet, and so I think for me to put, bro, I love for the artists and even got the BMI in place. They ain't got Like if you talk about business of music, enough people ain't even know what that is. Forget it in place so that
Well, when you're coming to me, you better get it because we are working.
no, but
But anyway,
I cannot only
let me
make the
go straight from
decisions
the
based
point.
on. I cannot. No. I just want to say I
Yeah.
cannot. If I can be selfless, I gotta be selfless to the artists that are not in the position for have the yet, because for plant the
Point
seed
taken.
of inspiration, I can't just do it to the people who are in up there.
No,
And
point taken, right? But let me, we gonna get half another time on the level because
most
everybody see them being different. But like for me, I will allow someone to write for me who knows me, who connected to me, who understand where I want to go with my music and so forth. Because I get the knowledge now that you cannot do it on your own. No man is an island, no man stand alone. And the
Right.
more collabs we have, the more audience we are being confronted or exposed to.
That's it.
Because I can now get some of my free audience, Mafia get some of me audience, GT Youth, and me collab and get some of me audience. So we are
Yep.
helping each other grow. But with
Facts.
that being said, people need to understand working together is not being isolated beyond use Michael Jackson and who bigger than who. If we working
Correct.
together, the first thing we got to start before we actually put pen on paper and start writing music. I called you up a couple months before, champ. Hey, let me go by the strip and chill for a moment. Let me start feeling the vibe. Let me start living
Yeah,
together.
that
Let me start
chemistry.
being together. When we get that chemistry, we understand totally when we go in the studio, we going to shell it because this is what we get in mind. So it's
Right.
just bigger than just working together. Working together is not just when me and you reach at the studio. Working together starts months, weeks, days, sometimes years before. And because we're in a state whereby we are not there as yet, like lyrical said, we need to help each other. But
That's
Yeah.
in
it.
helping each other, we need to understand it's not a when we reach, we reach. No, we got to start reaching via email, Facebook, whatever. We got to start communicating. We got to create a family, a region, whereby everybody can have a decision, show their opinion, and come to a conclusion whereby, okay, Mark wants a song, lyrical, he's asking lyrical, but lyrical says he's not feeling Mark like that, but Mark mustn't vex because lyrical transform Mark to Chevron or to GTUs or to Puju or someone. We are giving you people who we know can work with you
Yeah.
because this person may more understand you and you can get a better flow. So there's a lot to do with people writing for you. So not anybody I would just pick up and say write for me because you get a thing
Right.
going on. Me then though.
Mm. So Pajo actually answered this part of the question already when he said mention about his team and stuff like that. So we don't necessarily have to go to Pajo. Um, one no, or if you want to add something, go ahead.
Yeah, I would say with writing for people, I would study that individual. I listen to their music. So if somebody approaches me to write for them, I go study their music. I listen to
Yeah.
absolutely everything. Like, I had some projects that I was told to write something for Marshall, right? And them guys actually used to start laughing at me in the studio because I used to go into the whole character of Mr. Montano, right?
Mhm.
So the instrumental come on, I got into the this is Marshall Montano. I become the individual because one thing with soca music, these guys are very meticulous, like most genres, right? They want to hear themselves in the music. I know some artists don't like to hear that. They want to add their own twist, but sometimes some musicians at that level are actually lazy. They don't want to actually have to go and fix the song to them. They want the song to sound like them with the ad libs and absolutely everything, and send it off. I did a demo for Kes the other day. I couldn't sing the demo. I wrote the song. I had to send it to someone else who's got a softer tone for them to sing it so that it could sound more like the individual. So for someone writing for me, they need to understand me the same way. I need to actually
Point taken.
have a conversation with them. Let's vibe, let's chat. They need to know what I like, why I don't like, if I got a dog or a cat or whoever. So when they write in for me, they almost, they could feel me. And if I don't like what they write, we still got the option of saying no, thank you. You know what I mean? This I don't feel that. That's not me.
Yep.
That's not my energy. So, I'm open to it. Risk It All. That was one of my best songs. I started it, but someone else. The first time I worked with a writer called Daryl Gervais, we were on the phone for like 3 hours. I didn't even realize what he was doing, but he was just trying to understand who I was. And when he sent the demo, it was me. It was like Jesus Christ. I wrote this song for myself because he taught me that. Study the person, understand their likes, their dislikes, everything about them. Become that individual, and you'll find it easier to write for them. So
Yep.
that's just my 2 pence.
So two more questions, and we're gonna wrap this up. How many unreleased songs do you have, Siobhan?
I have quite a bit.
And
So,
the other part of the question is, and why?
so a quick story time. Just. So I grew up. I'm a Guyanese. I grew up in Trinidad and Tobago. I went to primary school, high school, straight up in Trinidad and Tobago. And I came back in 2020. So I am a baby back home in Guyana, trying to feel my way around and find out, the ups and downs and the goes arounds, for a better word. Um, the love for the industry has always been there. I have a distinction in theater arts and I'm a film major and all these kind of things, right? So I came back and I did Guyana Talent Search, trying to navigate through. I have written a lot of songs, but like I said, I didn't know anyone. So from the talent search, it basically propelled me into the industry and being around individuals, and I'm getting to learn who is who, for lack of better terms. So for me, my intellectual property is my baby. It's my baby, and I hold on to it no matter people are like, oh, just put it out there. I'm like, it's much more precious to me, and everybody is different, right? Everybody is different, and but what I can say is that you are definitely gonna hear from me.
Awesome.
Definitely gonna. So stay tuned.
Good.
Stay tuned. I go
So
by Siobhan's journey because I believe that as simple as that in life, it's a journey. You understand? And understanding that you live in the now and understand that today you create today what you want in the future. You understand where you see yourself in the future. It starts with today. So a lot of persons may not know of my work, may not be as familiar with me, but like Renrick said, it's all about your branding and your marketing. So I operate now who I see myself as in the future,
that's it.
right? So that's just me. People will be like, oh, I don't know why she always around the music, why she always, but I operate now who I see myself as in the future. I try to put myself in that mindset, and what that does for you as a creative is it propels you to think differently. It propels you to actually be what you see yourself as and not just dream.
Mhm.
So yeah, for
So real quick, what about unfinished tracks?
oh yeah, there's a good bit. There's a good bit because I am always in conversations with persons, and literally they'll be speaking and they would say something. I'm like, and I would write it down because ideas come to me quickly. It's like you would say something, or I would overhear a conversation walking through the market, or I would hear somebody say something. I'm like, yo, that could make a mad hook. So there's a lot of unfinished projects or ideas that I have written down that I'm just trying to find the right people to sit with to bring those ideas to life. So I think it all comes back to like what Mark was saying. We have to help each other, and I am willing to share some of the ideas that I have with interested persons. But like I said, my intellectual property is my baby, so I'm very careful.
All right.
So yeah.
So Mafi, how about how many unreleased and unfinished tracks do you think you have?
Countless, bro. Can't even count.
Tell
That's
me
it.
about it.
Right now, computer moving slow as the amount of songs that are on it. That's it. But for me, when I started recording, I used to pay 150 US for record a songs with a demo mix on it. And I was doing it so much at a point, I know me, I used to I was a clash artist, so I ended up in a clash. So this artist that I clashed in, waking up and writing his songs in Equip, and I left him from the Bronx for go to Queens for record. You understand? So it drives me to a point. It's like, damn, I paying all this money into studio. I might as well just get my own thing, you know what I mean, and just learn it. So this is eventually what I end up doing. So now making music in the house, I constantly making music. It's never stopped. It's not like you gotta worry about that engineer timing and you know what I mean, nobody else timing. I just work on me on time. If I wake up 3 o'clock in the morning and I feel like Vice, I go on Vice. Wake up 2 o'clock, you know what I mean? So now music is nothing, bro. I got thousands of unreleased, and this is my biggest thing for me. Me unreleased is the most precious thing to me because having the confidence and knowing that, all right, you got 3 songs out, burning up the road right now, but you got 10 more in the vault. You know that is make you feel so good that you would go and find 10 more and make that 28 songs. You know what I mean? So this is the biggest thing for me. On release, I always working on new music. I can make a hit tonight and go hustling, scrambling for make another song in the morning. That's just how I stay. I just stay hungry in music. Yeah, man.
Lyrical.
Yeah, well, for me too, I got some unreleased. I don't have any unfinished because once I start a song, I can't sleep if me finish it. I got get it finished. You know what I mean? I don't like doing it halfway and left in it, right? But when it comes to why I have them unreleased, everybody know who familiar with me from back then. Why for back then, but from a longer time.
Enough white tonight, boy.
Yeah, from a longer time. From a younger age, I realized that one of the issues that artists face when they started doing music is get to a point after everybody know you, it is stuck at a point where reality to step in where you got bills to pay and it ain't making sense. The money making sense, the studio time where you got to pay and the expenses for shoot a video and you can't keep it going. And it stress you out and artists get born out and that's why people disrespect them. And so from young, I look around and see it never happened to me because I always had myself in a certain way. Anybody who really know me, you know what I mean? But I saw that from my younger age, the artists that were around me. So what I end up doing, I had to pay some attention to my reality as much as my dream is there, but I had to focus on my reality, which involved me starting 2 businesses. Presently, I got a realty management company and I'm about to close a deal on a restaurant in Jersey. Because at the end of the day, you know, I love music. I want to do music for the rest of my life. But in reality, for me to afford, I got the talent and everything, but when you got an industry, it takes more than just your talent. It takes a lot of self-investment to be able to collaborate or to look, you know, it's a lot more behind the scenes. If you want to shoot a certain quality video, instead of begging a man and styling might come into place, you gotta be able to invest in yourself. I don't like styling. So I rather stay home if me got it, or I rather stay out to the, that's why you're not gonna see me everywhere because I don't put myself in positions for people to style me. So if me got it, or if I got it, you're not gonna know. You understand me? It's the same me. But I have to really invest, basically, I have to invest in my reality and make my reality to a point where I could then begin to, my dream becomes my reality. So now if anything should happen, I still want to send me that to the school for me that I just gave back. The thing is like one of the schools I try to send you to store something $1,000 a year. That's house down payment. But I am not there yet, but I'm saying music at this point, if I gotta focus, like the man said, I got an alien meds. So I think I always, when it comes to business, I always invest in and I always trying for, right now I'm trying to start purchasing properties to flip it. And I mean, I'm young still, but I know about being poor. And so the desire for never go back there, I had to really sit down and really focus on and get myself together as a man. I didn't want to walk around and just saying he's an artist and with the stigma attached to just being an artist, bro. I had to business up me thing, a serious up me thing for me kids. In case anything happen, I can't tell me that, hey, I only could have sent you to the public school because that is far the 6 and still telling you he's singing. At the end of the day, I might be good, but there's a lot of good artists that never make it to. So with reality of it, I went to school, make sure I get me subjects them. distinction for maths and chemistry and everything. But that was in case, you know, this music thing didn't work out. You know what I mean? Because your reality is serious when it hits you and you're far the six, and you know you can't get up and do the things where you really want to do because you're still following your dream. Like I said, I might be confident in myself, but suppose music is not what you're supposed to be good at. Suppose business is what me calling. I love music, but you never know. So I think what took me away from the music was focusing on my reality for a period of time. And now I'm back now because I built my reality to a point where it could sustain me financially to really do music and do the things I want. And that's the next thing. I didn't want to do the music 1 foot in, 1 foot out and drop a song here and there. And then you work with a producer for shoot the video, but you're really happy because you have to beg you for come down on the price. And I know I won't be able for, if I call you, if I could afford it, I can't afford it, or I know where I need to get to. So I want to deal with meeting when it comes to me art. I take it serious. I want to deal with it serious. So I don't want it to be a kit-to-cut thing or nobody got room for style me. So I build myself financially in a position where I could afford to do this. Also, you know, I grew up seeing my mother hustling, selling saltfish here and there, selling little drinks here and there. So the hustling ability for make things happen too. You drop me in any space, apart from music and apart from the as a man, I still got to represent for my family. That I still got deal with things beside that. And I want to show youngsters to that. Listen, you could have this dream, but you could still be Jay-Z in the business. Because the man is one of the best artists I ever do it. But the man still business up thing. The man still got a respect. And so I draw inspiration from there. And that's why I'm 30 yet, but you know, the aspirations when it comes to business is the same as it comes to my music as well. So I'm taking both of them serious. And that's why it's hard when people try to disrespect we as artists and say we do nonsense. And I mean, I just take it really serious when I hear them thing because I know the levels of work that I put in and the sacrifices that I make. You know, when I sit back and see some man who, and we're gonna be frank, we're not for style nobody, but some man who been dealing with the music and running the game, they don't put in half of the work that they should. But they get in, you know, I mean, hating on it, I'm glad for them, but I know what coming. And I mean, I know the storm that I coming with. So I just saying that either you're gonna step the game up because the level of work I plan for bring to it now that I could afford for collaborating with who I want. And now this is not no styling thing for sure. Nothing. I just hope that people don't take the side of it and just feel inspired by the fact that you could make it, bro. Like, don't limit yourself to nothing. You could do business, you could run a good family, you could do your music. Don't limit yourself to one ball at all because you're short, selling yourself short.
That's it. Pajo, how many unreleased and unfinished tracks do you have?
As Mafi said, right, as you can see, my mic right there, right? I write at home all the time. Timo Fraser probably fed up on me right now, but you know, every day he could get 2-3 demos if he wanted to. So I got a lot of on release stuff, some unfinished stuff. There's some stuff that would never be released because as I grow in this industry as a songwriter, sometimes I go back to them songs that I wrote at the early stages that never got released. And when I listen to them, I go, oh, geez, thank God I never released them. Right, so it's staying right there. But as I also learned about the marketing side of the business of music and you know, marketing plans and release strategies, you know, there's sometimes you might have, as Mafi said, 1,000 songs. You can't release 100 songs in a year because how are you marketing each songs? You know what I mean? So there's sometimes just gotta leave things where they are and figure it out later on. As music don't waste. Sometimes the song might not even be for me. I might be able to go sell that song to somebody else now and say, you know, I got this great song here, but I got enough music to release for the next 5 years. So instead of it just sitting there, you know, somebody else utilize it. So, you know, we all, I'm sure we all got loads of ideas and stuff, and just sat down there, man.
I mean, before I ask the next person, the reason why I ask the question is because I feel like we have, you know, some young artists that's now coming in the game, and they might be scatterbrained, where they might concentrate on one song now, but the next day they might have some other inspiration and say, you know what, hey, I gotta go in the studio and do this one, and then forget that they were working on a project the day before, right? So I just want you guys to
I think that comes down to discipline too.
Mhm.
You gotta be
You have
disciplined.
to remain tunnel vision.
You gotta have a plan of what you want to achieve this year. And if you know that this song you're working on is the one you want to release, you can't go jump in 6 steps ahead and start something else and you won't finish that one. So the discipline and
Discipline. That's it.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
an educational piece, man. I think
Mhm.
also, and this is why I implore a lot of the young artists to tap into a lot of the guys in this panel.
Yes.
Mark is a legend, you know what I mean,
That's right.
in our industry. Tap into these guys, tap into Mafi Dancer, Lyrical. You got GTUs, tap into myself, There's so many
Yeah.
people in the country that are doing it too. And seek advice. Don't ever think that you're alone in this,
Correct.
we all been through that struggle. So yeah.
GTUs. How many unreleased and unfinished?
Unfinished.
All right, for me, I stumble on music, on artistry, right? Because my whole motive wasn't to become an artist and sing. I must still can't sing this idea right now, right? So because of that, I used to go to New York. I live in Maryland, right? I used to travel to New York steady, forgot by Fojo and Ricard. And after a while, like every 2 weeks, and after a while, it become my expense, right? It becomes more than me to go to New York. So I took a break and invest in I don't call it a studio, it's called my audio, right? So because of that now, I have the, like Mafi just said, right? I have the ability to wake up at 3, 4 in the morning and go and do something, come home from work and do something, right? I could write a song every day if I want to because my mind is always active, right? So I have a lot of music, a lot of unreleased, right? A lot of songs that like Patro just said, he voiced a couple years ago, and when you go and listen it back, it's like, no, I can't put out this one, right? And the reason for a lot of the songs though is because like Fojo is one of my best producer, right? I have Code Red also, right? Timon Fraser, but Fojo is the man when it comes to melody and he's the Anzan. So a lot of songs that I have written, right? I know I can't handle it on my own, right? So he's the person I'm supposed to go to, but it's just time, right? Space and opportunity, right? To actually go and do these songs, right? But I can't give you a number because the number is a lot.
Mark.
By me, I never know what to tell ya because I feel out of this whole bunch here right now. Me must be the only man who really stumble. I mean, I stumble like fall. Hard and broke up me hand and foot. Now, like tell ya, we're going on with me now. I know I get the talent and everything. But you see the thing when you're in poverty, the thing is, of course, I call the day I hear the word poverty because of the same situation, the financial support. You by never get a chance to do nothing for yourself. And this is not a joke thing. I know begging a man for just give me a flash body. And the man never even hear me for answer me. You know why I started? I had a computer I did when years ago as youth man, Calypso time man. I had a little software and then I started experimenting like going for do little editing and whatever. But I show you a straight. I get a producer. Which I at Paradigm Studio. Good producer. In terms of getting the beats and everything together. Proper song to engineer it. But you know what me and get up to now? And you know why blaming for that? Me and get the financial backing to it yet. I got a lot of music, unfinished music. I talking about hits. Hits that could blow your mind. That me hear none part of guy and I produce them yet. So I ask myself, you for real, boy? This is you singing it? But as I ask myself, because there is no backing is in my corner. Everybody here on this panel, the way past me when it terms on the movement, a lyrical say, well, even through the struggle, he come, you get a chance now. I now start to do my own thing so that I maybe could reach what lyrical there. Which means I now start investing in me business and hoping that the business is gonna generate a certain amount of cash, a flux of inflow of cash that I could maybe squeeze out a cheese out of the now and take out to do music. But where it lies as it is now, I gotta look after me first priority, which is me family. You understand? Because I have children for feed. You understand? I have a wife to deal with, and myself I have bills. And forgot the music and take out two, $300,000 for the video just for my brother. I feel like we drop down and dead. But here what you buy and doing? No, I just talk me story straight because people, when people come on them live they say and commenting that about guy in his artist, them things are sick out me head, buddy. You understand? Because they don't know your struggles, why you ain't get certain production. And they have people who are responsible for making artists go to the next level. There are money, there are things that can be better properly done to ensure that the ones them who really can't manage the financial part get a push, get a good streamline, and nobody does nothing about it. So here I stop. And I talking this loud and plain because I know no time no more. I quit when it comes to me talking about Guyana and music. I quit, my brother. I looking for send me music somewhere else. I done asking and begging and talking and shouting. I even want to go back on the more live. So tell no Guyanese artist to start paying, tell Guyanese public to start paying attention to Guyanese artists and stop bashing them and stop promoting the ones them who selling we shot and start promoting the ones them who can really make it up because they
A
get
big fact.
tons of we can make it happen.
Big
And
fact.
we ain't getting it. And the ones them who doing stupid is making we the ones who working hard. When you see my to do a live the other day, I watch the whole live, I say, I never see my video live. But me man plug out and I plug out long. But I tell you to you now, I done trying with Guyana. If Guyana and branding me and branding Guyana boy. Me and dying them job back business no more. I pay me dues. I touch some bad big stage in in this world. From yard right down. And I know what I can do. I see what many Guyanese talent can do.
That's it.
Only if we get the right support, the
That's it.
right push, and the right growth. So this thing is not about how much music you get, how much unfinished, undone, and all of these things. This thing is about doing the right set of things for the right set of people who you know. Stop looking at face, stop looking at friends, and start putting the people who get the word and the ability to transform for changes in this country called Guyana. Put the people them where they're supposed to be. I am a great artist, I know it, but I'm not talking about it because I want to talk about it. I'm talking about it because you buy heart, you buy done put in Guyana first. I Guyana look for me thing other places because Guyana ain't putting me in no position for make me line up no way. And it's not because I want to, it's because I know that I could handle my scene on any stage. Me ain't got get no backup artist. I could go a cappella all me alone. But you know what? Frustration and all that comes because you can't get paid for your craft properly. Your outfit is $75,000 US for your 75,000 Guyana dollar for your outfit, and your pay grade is only 100,000 or a 150. You can't pay your musician properly. You can't pay your studio time properly, and all these things. So you buy done. I just talk it like I said, very simple because I want people to connect to what I'm saying. If you're in branding me and branding you. So when anybody asks me anytime how you feel about Guyana and whatever, I have a short statement. No further questions, no answer. I rest my case because Guyana putting the good people them at the back and the people them who deserve it, and putting them at the front. God never knows why we're doing that. And we getting this in the international world. When I see things like people talking about Guyana again, no artists born for Jamaica, what would happen to we entertainment world? I see Octane come in Guyana and start how he had some song when nobody narrate and Guyana bought it and Guyana and he eating after this song. How I supposed to feel as an artist who putting out me heart, me soul, me mind, body, spirit. Get people devoting them time in studio and we working for become successful artists. And then people on live talking about guy ain't get no good artist. So you trying to tell me my fees not good artist? Pajo and everybody lyrical, Chevon, GTU, myself, Mystic. I could call a ton of them. I know artists. Well, yeah, some of y'all don't even know Campton Hodges, Kid Hooper. All these people what start this game, bro. What are big music. None of these music never left Guyana. I hurt my brother. I didn't want to talk it out like this, but I hurt.
No, it's
Because you
facts.
buy
It's
and get
facts
the
though.
financial support for got you, but you buy level. I am begging nobody. If it's me time for make it, I will make it. If it's not me time for make it, so shall it be done. But I looking after business just like my brother Lyrical said because I gotta eat, my boy. I got to eat. Me and
Right.
Pony
Right.
thing.
Just to add to what you say, right? I just want everybody to understand what he's going through is why people from a young age, since I 17, I
Only
look
that.
at not only Mark. Mark, to be honest with you, I appreciate you being vulnerable like this
That's
because
it.
I grew up seeing you. I know the East Coast and see you walking past and me cousin them, I like, hey, this Mark Batson with the sing. And I was a youth man them time there. You understand me? Me probably even
Oh,
breaking yet.
hold
It's
on.
BF
You see the
Raf.
statement there? Azariel. I talked to Azariel the other day. Me man said the same thing you said. But you know what I don't like get, bro?
No,
I
but why
never buy
saying this? I say this
like
unfortunate that you gotta go through and that's why I say this is why people from a young age and I couldn't afford for let that happen to me because I see the art not only with you. I know about Jory can meet you fire when people run out for pull wire across the road when Jory coming through the bus. Jory coming from pop car stage for perform. I know about Jory got you the same
champ.
thing. What
If I
talent? I know
tell
about
y'all
Isla Man.
I
Look at Isla
buy
Man. Mark, you gonna know Isla Man. Isla Man is a
yeah, I
talented
know Island man.
artist. Talented
I
artist.
have never purchased nothing for my life out of music money. You know I purchase everything from right now, like Lyrical said, he expanding into real estate. I looking for expand myself into trucking business. And I went with $0 to the bank buddy. And me name Mark Batson saved me. I didn't have a dime when I go in the bank buddy. And I'm asking this the artist, I just see where you gotta get. And if that was saving me, make I get a business today. No music never do nothing for me,
We,
bedroom.
we
So as much as
appreciate
I
the
love it,
sacrifice. We
I hard
appreciate
that.
we
Because I ain't
appreciate
get nothing
everything when you
other
do,
than
bro.
a good name.
Big man thing. We appreciate it, bro. As an artist who been
Like I
around, we
hard.
appreciate.
So I cancel Guyana. Me and KU Vex. Anything I looking for, don't know. I sending it abroad. Because I realize that Guyanese only like it when it coming in. They may like it when it coming from Guyana. I telling her just straight. I laugh. I
No, big
buy
and serious. That's
like me
why.
want to
That's
plug out
why.
tonight on
That's
this live buddy.
yeah. That's why I was telling them on the live that I
Like
personally feel like we need to start making music for the world and stop making music for
yeah,
Guyana
buddy.
because Guyana got this way where it's like the man said, it's always the people them that it's always be the mediocre stuff that is get pushed to the
Yeah,
forefront, and the
most def.
artists them that really putting in the work and really trying to take it to the next level is always be the one that is get leave behind. You know what I mean? So that's why I feel like that would be the cure. Make music for the world. Because
Yeah.
when the world grab it and the world receive it,
Murphy.
you know what I mean? Everything else gonna fall into place.
I feel like tell you something, brother. I went to Jamaica and perform at the Emmanuel Brown. I was invited to go and perform at the Man Pori tribute. I had to sing one song. But you know Guyanese we work with brain fast. When I don't sing me my one song, I tell the people, you give me a chance to sing a verse, chorus, and me song. It's on YouTube. I sing a verse and a chorus a second chance. Shampoo. The response I got in Jamaica in 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, in 21 years, you're buying together in Guyana. The people from the Gleaner called me, said, Mr. Batson, you're very talented. Jamaica has tons and tons of talent, but something is different about you. I'll give you a big example. They were invite me to perform at the Jari Award. They sent me to the band room. I was so confused because I can't understand all of these things happening for me, right? When the people show and the people ask me, you have a producer, you know when you expect a guy half guard, catch half guard. Like I didn't know what to say, but I try to answer because I get catch half guard with the anxiety. People say I get producer, I tell them me manages for Wally Freeze or whatever. Show you what guy now. Jamaica send me to the world, bro. Take it to a next level. I come back to Guyana with the intention that okay, whoever they don't get, the big dogs, them the top dance them. Them man gonna see this thing is and them man gonna say, well, all right, Mark. If Jamaica can't war for you, we gonna start moving you through this place.
Road.
Nobody never said welcome home. Nobody never give me no interview. Nobody never said cat nor dog. But here what Guyana does do for you. I just talk it as it is. Here what them is do for you. When you're done make it, then
Then they
these
own
bots
you.
just own you as a Guyanese. But I telling you, if I you don't own me when I dirty, you better don't own me when me click. I different to all of the artists. You understand? You cannot own me when I dirty, and you don't own me when me clean. Me a begging no friend by. I frustrated, I fed up. You know, it's just forget all this talent inside of you. And I'm going no way. You can't eat. You can't get booking for show because stupid talks
This is
and all kind of
unfortunate,
crap.
man. This is
Them
very
plug me out,
unfortunate.
buy. Them plug me, but you know what you buy is the easier. Don't say nothing. You
Now,
buy
but
is the easier. Don't say nothing.
Mark, you
Oh,
see what you talking about there is what most. I mean, I there around for a tall time, eh? And I've been seeing the artists them, right? You know that too, right? This is what most artists, especially in Guyana, right? The matter you could get big in Guyana, right? The frustration has hit you because of what you're talking about there.
I tell you,
And I mean,
brethren, I don't have
I've
nothing
seen
for
the best
music,
of
bro.
them. I've seen the best of them. The best of them. I've seen artists give up. You understand me? Because of what you're talking about.
I purchased a bicycle for a child going to school the other day. I couldn't do that in music. You know why doing that from? I get a car wash business, detailing business. I tell my wife this child struggling to go to school, and I you know, like see it, and we decide that we can come and buy a bicycle for this child. I get another partner, falling, showing a small chip, and we buy a bicycle. But I could. This is the thing I want to do for music. I want to give back to the public. I want to help the people around me who suffering. I want to make people know that hey, you ain't got to suffer all of this. Like got somebody looking out for you. And
That's
we
it.
gonna be a start, and we could stand you in the direction now after now that you could start helping yourself. But I can't do that for myself. How I gonna do it for other artists? How I'm gonna do it for people within the community? And they're talking about everybody wants us to be this perfect posture, this perfect person, this perfect human being. Yo, man, have to go out and man have to cuss on the road and man have to get rough and tough and man have to fight for surviving this place, bedroom. Cause it's hard.
Mhm.
You understand? And people don't like it when you talk straight. People like when you sugarcoat it. I don't know for sugarcoated,
No,
bedroom.
yeah,
If I sugarcoat it, it's not gonna work right for me.
Mark, I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate everything that you're doing because it fueling me for go even harder for I'll watch. I saying this on the live right now, right? Me rich, but anything that you need for you sacrifice what you put into the music and any other artist out there who put in struggle. I know not for you also, but any artist who going through it, bro. Like if I could help you in any way financially, me rich, but if I got me last, I defer support because
That's it.
I appreciate the sacrifices what y'all make because and it's unfortunate that we countries deal with we like this, but like I said, this is exactly why I had to take the road to white tech and put music on a pause and just come back like this here now, where I could afford because it's unfortunate that you got you know. Like seriously. I
I
appreciate you being vulnerable because as a man, you don't know it's take a lot out of you for really voice how you really feel. But
people don't understand that Mark Batson. You know, some people call me from all America, England, Russia, man. I call, yo, Mark Batson. When some promoter from foreign come and see when me there, how me I live, hear them man say, yo, you, how them a treat you so? Yes, I'm not sure go that I'm not ashamed to tell nobody because me deserve more. Me pay me dues. Me pay me dues. And me don't bring stupidness to the table. Me don't bring stupidness to the table. I have the top me can say, she take away my pain and give me good healing. Me born with it, bedroom. Me no learn it in school. Me born with it from my mother in she womb. My family, my whole house, we born with it so. It enough inside of me house. But me can't execute it because you know what? Blockage. Blockage and what? Because me being myself. Me I want to be nobody else. I want to be me.
yeah,
You understand? And them just blocking you by all the time. So everybody decided, hey, one time I went to a meeting with Eddie Grant and I hear the man say a thing and I vex with the man. I say, hey, how the man was set up a guy, you know? The man say he put a whip lash from the back to Guyanese entertainment. And I said, this man mad. This man know what you say. But when me going through it for many years and me realize what this thing hit home to me, when this man say, this man is the biggest superstar. And he would come to the airport and nobody would even say hi. Nobody now remember his birthday. Nobody now remember for playing music, rotate it. But then wanted the grant to come perform for them. And if he call him price and then he said 1 million US or 1 billion pound, and we here play. But we just give away these things to these foreign banners that don't shop at the supermarket. They don't shop at the grocery store. They don't contribute nothing back to the country. And them living happy out of we country.
yeah.
You sight me? And it's frustrating to know you sit down with these things and what these things with your own eye, you can't do nothing about it yet. Because they want them over-represent we. Not like when we target shoot. So then I have to book me for no more show, because me give up on them, veteran. What is to me, God will give it to me. I done.
So the question was asked, how many unreleased songs you have and how many unfinished songs you have. And based on what just happened there, pretty much answered the question.
Yeah, me release me song. All them song me just release the field there, bro. Yeah.
You
A
just did
real
what?
song me release today.
Yo,
Yeah.
No, because I mean, some people might feel like we off track, but
No, me
that's
not half track.
no,
yeah,
we
There's
no,
not
I'm
certain
track.
things
saying,
that need to be
This
but
is what
said.
we
I'm saying
need. We
it's
need
in
more of this
line,
here.
and I think you spoke for every artist here and who's tapped in, and the ones that's not even tuned in, and that's hundreds of artists that might have wanted to say what you said there, um, and to me it hit home because I know how great of an artist you are, and likewise, all of you guys here and others, right? So doing things like this is very important to me and for the culture because we tend to sometimes feel like we could do this thing by ourselves,
Yeah.
right? And I got this. Me want nobody write for me. Me want nobody tell me nothing because I am confident in myself. But the amount of care and attention that our music culture needs, we don't have the room to just allow somebody that's talented to waste their time in doing nonsense when you got somebody like a lyrical or a mafia or one of you other guys here that can assist or help that person get to the next level.
No, most
And even
definitely.
here, even here in this conversation, for the younger ones that might be here or even the seasoned ones, it might unlock something in their mind that
Most
could
definitely.
actually add an extra 5 or 10 more years to them when they probably feel like they wanted to give up on music, period. Not only on Guyana, but period.
No,
Right?
definitely, definitely. I think Mark, like I said, I appreciate it. He won't even understand now because for me, like I hear the pain and I like it hurts me for know that the sacrifices that them are make for we be able to do this and we running around singing nonsense and fighting on one another. Like, it gotta be bigger than that because look at the Uncle talent that's being suppressed. And it's
Yep.
unfortunate, bro. Like, and for me, like I said, bro, like it hurts me for hear the manga voice though because I love music on a different level and stuff. I hear that from somebody that you looked up to, and it's unfortunate. And I never want to hear that again from, like, if I could help every single artist that day, I would do it, bro. Because it hurts me for know that this is how we country treat, not only with music, but with everything. Like all boxers who fight for in the Olympics, nobody remember them man is, bro. And it's unfortunate we culture disassemble and disarm all the great persons that's supposed to build we, bro. You know what I mean? But I appreciate the man vulnerability. I think that's the best part of the life tonight
That's it.
because
That's
he
it.
fueled me. He
That's
fueled me
it.
for go harder because I want to hear though. I want to hear that you struggle and I want to make sure that never happened to nobody else, bro. If I had the power for change your life right now, I would have do it. God knows. Because I heard about that. You know what I mean? And
Some
like I said, anything that you need, it doesn't matter if I have it, you reach out. And this is not no pride thing. Like if I got $50 and I got give half of it and I could
I don't
afford to
put
do it.
every me pride
Not
down
even
by
about
I don't
money.
realize me pride left me hungry.
Yeah, well, it's not even about money. Sometimes it does. No matter what it is, if you want something for your studio, if you want whatever you want, if I could do it, I telling you now. And
that's
if
it.
I never do it, if you call me and I never do it, you could come out and tell me I a P. You could style me and tell me I didn't keep. But if I could afford to do it, I will definitely do it because I never want to hear you got you them thing, bro. Because you all sacrifice so we be able to do this thing now.
That's it.
It's unfortunate, man.
That's it. So I'm gonna give each person, a closing 2 minutes to just encourage the next man, encourage the next man. All right. So let's start with Siobhan.
So what I would say as fresh to some extent on the scene, exploring um, Guyana's culture in terms of the music, um, and hearing from everyone else, I would say that definitely I have been inspired to push and to think outside of the box and not just create music for Guyana, if that makes sense,
Mhm.
right? Create music for the world. Create music with intention. You know, don't box yourself in by thinking, oh, this is for a particular country or this
Mhm.
is for a particular set of people. You're right. and explore. And it doesn't matter if your status is up here in terms of as an artist. You could be small, it could be like me, who now coming out and being amongst everyone else. They may not know you, but once you know who you are and understand the quality that you can bring, do what you got to do and get your stuff out there. Stop procrastinating.
That's it. That's
So
it.
definitely.
Badger.
Who, me?
Yeah, Badger.
I think for anyone that's coming into this industry, the first thing they need to adopt is discipline,
That's it.
right? And let's be real, it's not gonna be easy. You got to be dedicated, and you got to be willing to weather every single storm that's gonna be pushed in your direction, right? You got to put the work in. You got to practice, 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 rehearse. You got to do it all. Renwick came and gave gems earlier. You got to put the work in. You got to believe in yourself, and you got to again sometimes be able to take that criticism on your back. And just like a duck, sometimes just let it go. You know what I mean? You got to know what your purpose is. Be intentional with what you want out of this as a career. If you want this to be your main job, or if it's something you're doing on the side, you need to be honest with yourself and know exactly what it is you're doing. But if it's what you want to do it. That's my thing. Do it, and do it with purpose.
Mafi.
Yeah, man, I feel like, as a young artist coming into the game, um, definitely discipline. Discipline was one of the biggest things for me. I understand, and it's something that I still struggle with day like today. I understand. But I feel once you get over that, once you know how to articulate yourself and know how to deal with people and deal with situations, it will be way more easier for you as an artist. In terms of growth, in terms of growing as an artist. You know what I mean? Definitely believe in yourself, believe in what you're doing. Don't be afraid to be different. Don't be afraid, to try new things, try new songs. Because it's always, it's always like the next best thing. You know what I mean? And people are always listening for the next best thing. So don't ever be afraid to, be yourself and be different. If that's the case. One thing that I wanted to touch on was what Mark Batson talked about, and it's something that, that I used to have on my mind like almost every day, like studying, like, damn, bro, like I know I make good music, but it's like, why I don't get back the love, and it's not necessarily from the Guyanese people, because I could personally say most of the people that support my music is actually Guyanese people. You understand? So I don't think it's necessarily saying that it's Guyanese people don't push their artists, because I know enough people that just listen to my music every day, literally. Understand? But I think it's just, I don't know, bro. It's just confused. I just think it's a certain group of people that has the ability for open certain doors and get certain artists to that next level, and it's not really hard, because if you know music, you know what I mean, you could listen and you could actually tell the artists them that actually have the talent to take it to the next level. Understand? So why we never seen that yet, or it's a mystery. It's something that is baffling me all the time, because I looking at all these other great artists that used to do it before me, and it's like, why these guys never made it mainstream? You understand? So it would bring a certain type of fear in you as an artist, but at the end of the day, you still have to believe in yourself, because like I said, they part, it might not necessarily be you part, but you know what I mean, you just have to take into consideration, and that's why I study a lot of artists, for see exactly like where they went wrong, or what exactly caused whatever it is, you know what I mean. So definitely it all come back to you have to believe in yourself, because right now we in the street, we don't have nobody really to look up to say, all right, I want to be like this, because yeah, we got people that big under the stars, but like how we have a rapper, you're gonna see them with a rave, or you're gonna see somebody on the internet buying them with a big house. You're gonna see somebody, we want to do them type of things there, you know what I mean? We want to give back to the community, we want to build certain things where we can leave a legacy, you know what I mean? And we just never see that, so we ain't got nothing really for hold on to. So I just feel like as a GT artist, bro, the most important thing you need, bro, is self-belief, bro. Self-belief.
That's it.
Yeah.
Mark.
Yeah, man. Like I don't talk about me soul body. Me know what else to say. All I could tell you, I hold the faith. I still trying to hold the same faith. It's not an easy road.
So,
I know the real struggle. I know the struggles is real, but what we gonna do? We gotta do what we gotta do, people. We gotta continue pushing. I know well. Sometimes you just push so much like you don't get no more gas left in your tank. Show a little water and go again. That's the most I could tell you right now. Cause like I know if I say no more right now. But yeah, stay put, stay focused.
Lyrical.
What was the question again? I want to make sure I did.
Just a final, encouragement, to your fellow artists and stuff like that.
Well, apart from, in addition to what I said earlier about focusing on your reality too, because we in a space where we have to, bro. You can't afford for around for doing music. You can burn yourself out. You can frustrate you. So to some extent, from the beginning, if you could work and do it, if you could start a little business and do it, that's one of the most important things that you could fund it until it gets to a point where the industry generating back money where you could afford to say, well, all right, so why don't we do it? It doesn't matter is who. I don't care. When it comes to music, I mean picking no side. So if it gotta be Mafia, if it gotta be, GT Youths, if it gotta be War Child, it doesn't matter who, but somebody gotta break the course, and then we gonna see how we gonna run through the door. But one person gotta step up and make it happen, right? But until the time come, yeah. For now, we got to focus on your reality and until your dream becomes your reality. Besides that, it's also important that I take the time to give everybody the flowers, bro. Like, I listen to everybody. Mark, you don't know he's a legend. So we ain't got to when it comes to you. Your vocal ability is out of this world. Your voice training, the ability for whole notes is crazy. You know what I mean? The artist Pedro, I've listened to your music after I saw GT was added you to the thing. I think for as somebody who has Guyanese roots, I think when I listen to your soca, it sounds international, like GT said. Giving you the vibe. I look at your videos, I see you slapping one and two, but I love the energy. When it comes to Chevron, unfortunately, I haven't, followed
That's
up.
fine, bro. Trust me.
From the
I
way
got you.
you articulate yourself, I'm gonna look up your music. GT, you don't use me, dog. From them time there, from a longer time. I love what you're doing. I love the fact that you're pushing we as a culture to not only yourself. You're being selfless when it comes to the music. You're playing everybody music. You're talking to everybody. And when it comes to Mafia, well, you don't know. We think it's a different type of thing. But in terms of what you're doing, I admire the fact that you're breaking chains too, because Linden is a place where my mother is from Linden, Silvertongue. So Linden is like a second home for me. That's why all the Linden artists are me good. From Dan Chorus to Davy Marley, I used to run by school and we used to eat sausage and rice together when nothing going on. So when it comes to your music, I think you're doing what you need. I hear the growth, I love the creativity. I love the fact that you're lifting the bar and the standard higher for everybody. You're making it a jokey thing, and even when jokey thing selling, you're still holding, because the nice on the market is not the sale on the market. In reality, like me. So when it comes to other artists that I might not be able to put from, even like some of the artists I never spoke to, but as a man, care about how you feel if you ego it up there. Big up Courtly. I like the flavor and the melodies that he's do. Big up War Child, because War Child got a habit of unifying artists. Like if it wasn't for the man, I probably wouldn't do music again. You know what I mean? And I can't make up everybody, but overall, I want everybody to win, bro. Like this, we can't do it alone. You know what I mean? And it has to be a culture-driven thing. We gotta always think about the culture.
That's it.
For the most part, I think everybody doing, any artist, no matter where you're dropping, whatever you're doing, you're contributing towards the industry farming so that we could potentially be able to generate money. We're in the process right now, you know what I mean? And that's why it's frustrating for we, because we never see it before. So we can't look back at history for saying, well, we could take this and this. We doing it right now. So we actually parenting ourselves. So it's frustrating for us, but 2-3 years down the line, if you think about it right now, the fact that there's so many more dancehall artists now, it means that we're making progress. Because when I started, it didn't really have so much of dancehall artists. It didn't have so much artists overall. But if you look at it now, everybody want to be an artist. It means that we started something and it's working, but we ain't get to the point yet. So nobody can afford for that ego and yes, this and done, because none of we ain't there yet, bro. Regardless of what going on. To persons like Mark, I would love to say, like I said again, I appreciate you being vulnerable, because it teaches me a lot. I got a different level of admiration for you now and your craft, because I could relate to the struggle that you got through. And it fueled me to do greater things. And like I said, no matter what it is, even if it's not, you might not want to call for money, or you might not want, if it's just so, I might call you myself for just here the knowledge that you have forgiven me. You know what I mean? That might be worth more than anything. But if in life you ever want anything, and any other artist that sacrificed to me before, me ain't talking for going and buy clothes to do shopping. But if you got a dream that you want to start a little business. If I could afford to help you, I definitely would. I'm here rich. I rich in heart and mind. I try and forget rich too. Because I realize we live in a material world. So you can't sell yourself no dream and say, just want to be comfortable. Because kids' school fee, it need money. You know what I mean? So, but like I said, as much as I could help any single artist that sacrificed before me, and I know I've been around y'all and I appreciate y'all. The next thing before I leave, the producers them gotta be try for work with the artists them too. And just try for, cause y'all dig some price in them man, and them man can't afford to do it, dog. And you kill the plan before it start growing. You know what I mean? But I could talk on and on forever. We ain't got the time for that. So you don't know the badness though.
GT Youths, closing. What advice you have?
I think it's gonna take a little minute, eh?
2 minutes.
But I started GTU's production about 20 years ago, right? And the motive of that was to just take artists to a different level, Guyanese artists to a different level, right? And that's still a passion of mine. Hence the reason why I can tell you that I still play Guyanese artists up to this day, right? And that's it. That is like a dream for boss a Guyanese artist to the world, right? I remember in 2020, I didn't even know. I knew Mafi, but just from Gadi sending me music and Ray Tate, right? And this is gonna show you how my thing go for Guyanese artists, right? Mafi was in Guyana. He can attest to this. Mafi in Guyana in 2020, pandemic, right? I linked Mafi and said, "Yo, what you doing?" Remember that, Mafi?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I said, "What you doing in Guyana, dog?" He said, "Nothing." I said, "Yo, you need to make some links, right? Because enough artists in America would love for the opportunity you have right now." I said, "Link Code Red, link
Yeah.
Dexter, link 3D Dexter, right? And deal with these men, right?" From that came this great artist in front of me right now.
Mm-hmm.
You understand me? Lyrical Fire, I traveled to Guyana for look for this youth. You understand me? Go by Rough Cut Studio, right? For see who this youth is. Because at them times, he probably was 15, 16 years old, but bad.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
You understand me? Mark Batson up on a different level, right? From Fujo to Bally's, Shelly G, to any artist, Little J, right?
Yeah, big up Little J.
These is the people them, right, that I have been involved with from a taller time, right? So me heart is for Guyanese artists, right? Nobody can tell me Guyanese artists ain't get talent, right? Me one here, I get enough argument over this same conversation. You understand? Because I know you sang and get 1 million views for you get a bad song. Don't register with me. I know good songs, good music when I hear good music. Right? Views don't determine what your song means. Right? This to me. Right? For the youths them now. Just do music. If you love what you're doing, if it's for money, right, then you don't lose already. Right? If the motive is money,
big time,
right,
big time,
you lose. Right? Do music because you love music, right? Because in a quote unquote industry, like Guyana industry, right, there's no money. It's take more than you put in. You understand me? Them would take more from you, more than you would actually get if you're depending on money to rate you as an artist. Right? Just do music for the love of music. Right? All the artists say, I have a program called How It Sound, right? Strictly Guyanese artists. All right. I promoting this thing. You can send me your music, right? Let me show you one thing. Mark Tarkin was support. See this right there? Right? A white man, a white person that watch How It Sound, right? From Germany. Send back home to Germany, forget a number plate done with How It Sound and put a Guyana flag and thing on it, right? Just to show that the music right, is bigger than Guyana, right? And we need to think bigger than Guyana. You understand me? So whoever listening, whoever artist, if you are looking for make it out of Guyana with your music, right? We have to start thinking think out of the box. Guyana is a box. You understand me? Think out of the box there. And here's all I gotta say. Big up everybody who are watching, right? And just continue supporting Guyanese artists and the music.
Yeah, just one more thing I would say. Study the business of music. Anyone coming into this, take the time to do your research about all of the different splits, royalties, every single thing. Protect yourself first with that knowledge, and then go out there. Knowledge is key.
Mad.
That's it.
Demrock, make up yourself too. You know what I mean? Before
Yeah,
we leave.
man.
I know that you emphasized to me the other day that this is not what you're doing is not about you, and you don't want it to be a Demrock thing. You want it to be for the culture, and I appreciate it because me there for support Demrock, you know. Me there for support Demrock in as the individual, but I appreciate regardless of the fights we are getting. You don't have to come on if I do nothing because you're getting paid tonight for do none of this. You're making no money from this. So regardless of whatever, I appreciate you still trying for, for glue we together. And I appreciate the sense of cohesion that you're trying to instill in me. And I understand that based on the conversations that we have, it's about the culture. And I appreciate the fact that you instill the knowledge in me. And now, when I do things now, it's not about me alone. You know what I mean? Because we can go down the same route again, and 20 years from now, artists going to come and stressed out too. So we got to do it together, and I appreciate the efforts.
Respect. Man, I really love our music culture, but it needs so much love and attention. And there's a lot of things that we're doing that we have to break, right? Every last one of you that's on this live right now, I trust what you have to offer. Even the ones that's not on here. I mean, of course, we couldn't bring everybody on. And I hope at some point I do this again where I can bring in a fresh set of artists that I trust their music and their lyrical ability. All right. But I want to encourage you all. Mark, GT Youths, Mafi, Pajo, Lyrical Fire, Chevon, Renwick, all who was supposed to be on here, Binik. All right. I want to encourage you guys to continue to believe in what you're doing. Regardless, I know it's hard. But Mark specifically, I just need you to stick with it, bro. Stick with it. You already made your decision on your direction, but don't put a pause in it. All right, continue to push that fire, and I personally gonna continue to do my very best to assist every one of our artists in whichever way possible. All right. So yes, sir.
And why I get it wrong, I still doing music.
No.
Saying to you guys.
Yeah, I understand. No, I understand.
Still doing music. But like I said, I don't realize it got to leave this shores here and go there and then come back.
Correct.
How long you stay in this shore? You think I know with my brother?
Facts.
You understand me? I have a new single coming very soon named Ja Never Feel Like Yet. It says, let me give the fan them a piece before I left because I really said nothing for the closing. Right? It says, I beg thee forgiveness to cleanse me from my sins, to move away from wicked people who try to take my blessings. Help me fight my battle, Lord. My journey's just begin, boy. Help me fight my battle, Lord. Jaja never feel like, Jaja never feel like. I and I a conqueror. He never feel like. In him I have no regrets. No, Jaja never feel like. Jaja never feel like. I and I a conqueror. He never fail. In him I have no regrets. Salute.
Big up your damn self.
So big self.
Yeah.
Yo, Demrock,
Yes, sir.
one person I want you on the next episode of this, I recommend have a youth called Fujo Ian Corbin.
He's
Great
a youth.
songwriter.
Fojo,
He's a youth.
He did it.
Fojo, Fojo
Yeah,
was,
yeah. I mean,
Fojo was,
it's my little friend.
I hope he's on the live. Fojo was
Yeah, he
contacted.
went on the live. He was on the live earlier.
Fojo was contacted, and I didn't get a response.
Contact you again. He'll respond to you this time.
Yeah. So yeah. So
It would be good to get some of the upcoming artists' views, also the younger generation, just to hear their views on this industry.
correct.
know.
Correct. Yeah. I can do that and just pick their brain and see what direction we can go.
Cause we all learn from everybody, right?
That's right. That's
They
right.
come with fresh ideas. The world changing every day, so
Would you say I'm stubborn at times?
Yeah. Okay. So now I ain't gonna ask a question. Anyway, I was about to ask a question, but never mind. So again, I appreciate every last one of you guys, and I, would like you guys to, the ones for you that's listening and watching, to go tap into these artists and their music. I don't know what Siobhan music, if it's on YouTube or what, but if you guys can give real quick where you can find the music. Siobhan?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I'm still in the process of releasing my music,
Mhm.
but yeah, you guys can follow my page. It's Siobhan's Journey, and that's on everything. Yeah, and it's all a part of the journey. So stay tuned, guys. Definitely.
All right. Lyrical.
You don't know Lyrical Fire on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere where music is streamed. For the most part, I'm excited for the new music that's coming out.
Definitely.
Especially the features that I'm gonna have coming. In terms of the creativity that we're bringing to it, and we're lifting the bar higher, basically. So you gotta nonsense not gonna make sense anymore. You gotta really step it up, and you gotta put in work, or else you can show it up now. You know what I mean? Like I said,
Yep.
I hope they prepare for what's coming. I've been out to the game for a long time, but right now is a different energy. And Mark just inspire me more for go harder. Yes, I mean, why for going harder,
glad.
still, but you don't know. You know what I mean?
It's fight pad now.
Yeah.
Respect. GT
Yeah.
Youths.
Yeah, man.
Where
All
can find your music?
platform. GT Youths, or I am GT Youths. GTYOUTHS.
Mark.
Yeah, you're gonna find me on Spotify, Amazon, Google Play, DistroKid, anywhere that you think we uploading in terms of social media platform. You'll find me on YouTube at Mark Batson Vivo. My Instagram page is Batson Mark. My Facebook page is Mark Batson Music. So just remember, check it out.
Mafi.
Yeah, man. Any streaming platform, Murphy. YouTube, Murphy Official. Instagram, One My Boss Murphy. Facebook, Murphy the Boss, and TikTok is One My Boss Murphy. Same me too.
Respect. Pajo.
Yeah, for me it's Instagram Pajo Music Official. YouTube is Pajo Music. Everywhere else is Pajo. Every streaming platform, Pajo. New music next week. I've just released a video yesterday. Go tap into that. And before we go, I wanna bring some awareness to something Timon Fraser is doing. He is personally undertaking a project called Project 40, because he's trying to get this topic of there's not enough music being released, soca music being released throughout the year. He is releasing 40 songs by May as a producer, and it's all Guyanese cast only. So just a big shout out if you guys support Timon with what he's doing there. It's sounding good. Fraser Records. So look out for that project.
Nice. So in closing, I'm going to play a video as usual. This one is by Yannick Adolphe, one of our best artists out there, vocally, lyrically. All right, so appreciate you guys and thank you for tapping in. Bless it. Much love.
Artist, big up yourself, yeah?
One love,
Yeah,
guys.
man, everybody.
Respect everybody.
Bless up.
God.
Much love, guys.
Oh, it's your presence that's most needed, Lord. In my life, more than the riches. Them say me young and I should go and live. How will it profit me to gain the universe and I have you? Oh, that is so dope-ish. You give meaning to life, you give hope, yes. Ever since I gave you my mind, I've learned I'm so blessed. Oceans will rise, but I will cope, yes. And I can confirm that you make everything better. So I'll be drawing closer. With Yeshua, I'm gonna get through. From now until the end, I'm gonna bless you. I can choose you all night and all day. Let me by the rivers, keep me near to you. Cleanse me with the fire that will make me new. Fill me up and send me in your presence. Always thankful for this life that you have called me to. I've made my mind up that I'd always do whatever you want me to. I'll worship you truly, truly. I'm gonna give my life truly, truly. Oh, search me in the deepest places and know my thoughts, oh God. Revealing I will make the changes and worship from my heart. I wanna be real cause that's required. I'm not trying to be far from you. You know my true desire. I'm not Peter but I'm all for you. I can choose you all night and all day. Fly me by the rivers, keep me near to you. Cleanse me with the fire that will make me new. Fill me up and send me in your presence. Always thankful for this life that you have called me to. I made my mind up that I'd always do whatever you want me to. I worship you truly, truly. I'm gonna give my life truly, truly. Oh, truly, truly. Come we tell them say, God them want our worship and they want it all the time. They want a body, soul, spirit and they want be mind. Them fi know say, him have the fire, yes the fire purify you. So we could live just like the originally designed. So when me get a chance, me do it with a hand clap. And if them use me out, me worship and me non-stop. Whatever me need, yes Jehovah me sponsor. And I mean it from my heart, I'm gonna give my life truly, truly. Let me by the rivers, keep me near to you. Cleanse me with the fire that can burn, 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 burn. Oh, fill me up and send me anywhere you choose. I've made up in my mind that I'll always worship you.
I just want to say this. I believe in our music culture, but I more so believe in every single artist. All right. That being said, good night. Much love. Bless up. Peace.